Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. I'm Ron Swanson. This is RQDAILY. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Lisa, I don't know where you've tagged me. You might need to DM me, whatever it is you've tagged me in. I'm not very good with tagging. How can you join the Discord? Well, I will give you a Discord link. Or just 1 second. I hope everyone's having a good morning. Got some interesting stuff to jump into today. One of which is Conor McGregor. We're going to look at some of the reasons behind the Abercrombie Fitch guy getting bail and Diddy not getting bail. We're going to look at some little updates on Diddy, see what's going on in the Diddysphere. And then we're going to have a look at some pretty dark cases of tunnels from all different walks of the world, whether it was for endgaming people or transporting people. I just want to have a little delve into the different levels of individual, right, spanning different budgets and things like this, who've achieved a tunnel system. Excuse me, I have got a madness going on here. 1 second. Also, some interesting Diddy Reddit posts I want to jump into. Also, this was something I was asking Discord this morning. Like, we hear all about the parties and the male workers, okay? And it seems like there was allegedly a lot of them, right? And I just wonder, other than a few months ago, when one of those male workers allegedly handed in a tape of one of the parties, there's not really been anything else. And I actually thought we may have seen more of them coming forward. But the first thing we're going to be jumping in is Conor McGregor, but we're not going to do that right now. We've got to wait a few more minutes. So while we do that, right, why don't you all tell me how you're doing, wonderful side chat? Oh, I'm also kind of getting to grips with these cards now, with the Oracle cards. Very, very cool, I have to say. It's good. It's good. So we'll maybe have a play around with them one night and see where I'm up to with that. There is something going on with my noise gate. Give me a second. There we go. Nice one. Who you calling up? Oh, Scottish is great. Morning. Happy Mercury retrograde, everyone. Yep, right back at you, Ziza. So yeah. Yeah, tagged you in some Nico stuff on there. I know you did. I don't know where I find the tags though. Yeah, all I can see is Kaza trolling the Me6 bot in my Gen chat. Like, I don't know what's going on. All right, Tommy, what are you saying, mate? Ugh, Ross. Yeah, you're one of those ones. That's fine. Enjoy your day. Why are you looking so tired? I'll be honest with you. I woke up at about 5 o'clock this morning and then just started to hammer the work. And then I got to about 10:30 and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just close my eyes for 5 minutes, and then woke up about 40 minutes ago in a panic. I have a small channel. Hang on a second. Soul Therapy with Lady D. I read tarot cards. I'm psychic. I have a small channel. Have me on. Love your content. Big fan. Oh, wicked. Well, look, yeah, we'd love to have people on from that walk of life. I'm still waking up. My brain's kicking back in. Arise champion. Sadly not. Sadly not. What did I miss yesterday about Taylor Swift in a video with Beverly? I just said that because I said that you guys have ruined Taylor Swift by exposing her. I'm still believing that she's on the power of good and that it's just all propaganda, right? But you know, we can all live in denial sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I also was saying I'm too scared to ask Beverly about Egypt, right? Because I feel like as soon as that conversation starts, it's going to be just hours and hours of conversation. Because I mean, obviously, you know how big a fan of Beverly I am, but the stuff and the things that this woman has done, it really does just blow my mind. But in saying that, you got to remember as well, I still have my own brain, right? She was talking about her interpretations of Earth and things like this. And listen, once I see what shape the planet is from outer space, or I get a weather balloon or whatever, I'll be fine. But I'm still very confused about a lot of things when it comes to just our solar system. Yeah, Swift, Lopez, Denzel, yeah. So what else? What else y'all saying, you wonderful little scallywags? Yeah, that's my channel right there. In fact, I made a thing. I made a thing. There we go. But yeah, look, before we dive in this morning, please like and share. Big shout out to Boston, Massachusetts. And yeah, Beverly is freaking amazing. We're back on Wednesday with Beverly, and I believe it is Danny Henderson is joining us on Wednesday. Lisa, you've DM'd me. Excellent. Excellent. Let us see. Let us see what we have. Apparent. Oh, man, that's wild. Lisa, I just started watching that this morning. That is weird that you've just sent me that. Oh, who's this? Thank you so much. I don't know what I'm meant to be looking at. Lisa, I don't know what I'm meant to be looking at, mate. Forwarded. Did he talk? Ron Samson. Oh, Sam. Yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of Samson. So I messaged Shane about that this morning. Was the torture castle? Is that the thing that you were talking about with Nico? That's the only sort of creepy looking thing I could really resend it. Okay, yeah. That if listen, I'll bring it up just now. I've not watched it all yet, but Paranormal Files have done a YouTube video, The Secrets of the Castle of the Elites, where all of this took place. And yeah. Oh, Nico's there. Oh my God. There's Nico. That's awesome. Oh yeah, we'll need to get into this. That is awesome. I think I literally got to, I don't know where I got to. Is this the one I'm thinking of that I was watching? Yeah, 11 hours ago. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, so I interviewed Nico, this guy here, Nico Klaus, the Vampire of Paris. If you guys are new to this community, you may not know this. And 1 minute while I pull up some shameless self promotions. If we head over to Sean's channel and we go to here. Oh no, wait, no. You go over to my channel. Okay, you go over to my channel, and if you go on to the where the frick is it? I don't know where it's going. I'm very confused. Hang on a second. There should just be a playlist of all this here. I'm very confused. Yeah, hang on a second. Let me see if I can find this. 1 second, everybody. Need to go into the back end. Please like and share whilst Ron's fumbling around in the back end here. Dun, 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 dun. All right. I can't find it. Interesting. All right. Well, if that's been taken off, I'll just need to re-upload that to my channel. I guess that's very disappointing. Is what that is. Yeah. Well, never mind. Okay. Well, that's just the way it goes on this channel, I guess. What is happening, Paula? How are you?
I am doing very well, very well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay, because I couldn't hear.
I
How are
can.
you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
But you sound kind of subdued. I told you it's about time to bring chaos.
No, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm just chilled. I'm just chilled this morning. We're just chilling out. We're good. To be honest, I've got to remain calm and low energy for the first 10 minutes. Otherwise, YouTube sees me as like aggressive and threatening.
Yeah, like this angry man.
Which angry man?
You can be perceived as an angry man because
Oh
we
yeah,
speak loudly and passionately.
yeah. I'm with you.
Look, Ron,
so
how's Nova?
she's
Glad to hear.
she's getting ready to pop. Is what she's doing. She is getting ready to pop. So any time now. It's going to be any time now. Very exciting. It's very exciting.
I can't wait for you to get what I sent you. You know what? I just realized something. It's not that your volume was low. It's just that, okay, it's time for a hearing aid, I think. Because with the right ear, I couldn't really hear anything. And as soon as I put my left one, pop, the weasel went. Well, I got two tips. While we kill time, I am sure our US viewers are gonna love this. They are going to love this because this is gonna bring them money, guys. While I was doing my research about the Archwell Foundation and Meghan Markle taxes, I found out some information that was mind blowing because this woman managed to get $1.2 million allegedly back as tax return using a COVID rule. And anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. So you're going to have to watch my video, the one that I'm going to put today. And you guys can do it too because it's an easy trick. And it's based on the following. You know that during COVID, people who were employed, like employed, like regular employees, they lost a lot of income because of course nobody could go to work, everything shut down, right? So the government, the US government, gave him a COVID tax break. Well, it turns out that self-employed people, manicurists, gardeners, or if you own your little business, whatever it is, complained. And they also too got that break, but only for 2021. So you have 3 years to amend that tax filing in order for you to get your tax credit as a self-employed person. I have a friend who does I'm not getting paid or anything. This really happened while I was doing my research, Ron. I mean, I was absolutely blown. So you have to go watch that video. So what you have to do it because I have an email address there that people can go see it. I am not getting paid for this, but I think that if Meghan Markle is getting millions back, this unemployed hack is getting 1.2 million allegedly, then so you can too. And what is really interesting, for example, this lady who does these things, you do not get penalized because this is an added income for COVID for being a self-employed person. She did the amendment for two people, a couple, and they got back $16,500 back. For another lady who was a manicurist, she couldn't go to homes and stuff like that, so she got her $7,000 back.
Well, yeah,
And
listen.
you have to apply. This is the trick part. You have to apply before December 31st, 2024, because otherwise you lose that credit. You have to request it because you only had 3 years to do it. Many people don't know that. Even certified accountants don't know about it. So because this lady certified, this other lady that I have the email address in my video, because I don't remember off the top of my head, um, she's certified by the IRS, which means that she have to be taking courses every month with updated new laws. But they've known all along. But they, like CPAs or anybody, they don't tell them. I haven't posted the video yet, Ron. So, but it is absolutely insane. Insane. You can get that amendment. It's a once in a lifetime one amendment. Doesn't matter what you do. If you're self-employed, you're entitled to that. So we have to thank Meghan Markle for that, at least.
Well, yeah, thank you, Megan. So yeah, guys, make sure you go and check that out. Claim your free cash. Whilst we're sort of talking and going through some bits this morning, there was a YouTuber called, what's the guy's name? Hang on. Jeremy Explores. He went out to Diddy's abandoned mansion and filmed the inside and kind of walked around. So I'm just going to sort of play this in the background. I think it's quite interesting to sort of take a look at.
I think he's going to make bail.
Well, let's talk about that, Paula, because there was a lot of people saying that he should get bail based off of the fact that the Abercrombie and Fitch guy got bail. But here's the thing. This has nothing to do with racism. This has nothing to do with anything that you're going to see as a headline. The reason the Abercrombie and Fitch guy got bail is because none of the individuals that were involved in his case were forced into, P words or anything like this. They weren't. There was no guns involved or pew-pews involved, and he doesn't have a history of being incredibly violent, allegedly. And it makes sense to me that if that is the background, that is probably why he was given bail over Diddy. And the new judge, I do believe, is questioning now why Diddy hasn't been released and is waiting for a better, more realistic deal. Because at one point they suggested him being housed in his property that had a dock off the back of it. So what's your take on it, Paula?
Well, I disagree when you said that he doesn't have a violent history. Clearly he does, if you ask his victims, because according to his victims, he was incredibly violent.
Okay.
This is why apparently he used to really hurt them. The fact that he hasn't been caught until now, that's a different story, that people didn't know about him, but it doesn't mean that he's not violent. If he weren't, he wouldn't be charged with
was it
just yeah.
Was it violence that was conducted within
absolutely
the SE within the SEX acts, if that makes sense?
Absolutely. He used to drug them. He used to.
I wonder if that plays a difference in a judge's decision. If it's up for debate on whether or not someone's innocent or guilty, and it was still to be proven if it was like non-consensual acts or whatever. I wonder if the violence took place within those acts, if that makes a difference to the judge when they're making a decision, if that makes sense.
Ron, you're pretty much exact copy of Diddy,
Okay.
except that Diddy was more high profile. This is what I told you before, that the curse that Diddy has is that he was more high profile. But this man was using all these models, even very young ones who wanted to be, you know how it was back then.
Yeah.
They wanted to be, so he would use his position, and he would, like, even at Abercrombie Finch, at the shirt, with the stores, he had boys stand outside without shirts, and his whole point of Abercrombie Finch was to be demeaning to the people when they walk to the store. It's like, we don't sell clothes for fat people here. It's like, if you want to wear our clothes, you have to be slim. And the guys would be without shirts outside and inside, walking around. I mean, but he used to, and he had access to them, also the Victoria's Secret models, which are females. And if they wanted to be featured, he would, even if it wasn't for him, it would be for his mates. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, my internet's doing a madness here. I need to disconnect from Discord. Excuse me.
So he
minutes.
was violent. The thing with these people, Ron, is that because he was wealthy, white, and race does play a part a little bit. I know you guys know I'm not a race baiter. I freaking hate that. But race does play a part because he's a white, wealthy man. Usually they do profiles, they profile people. And people think because he has so much to lose, he wouldn't dare do it, but they do because they know they can get away with it. I mean, this guy's what? And they said, oh, his age is 80. Doesn't matter how old he is. That doesn't whitewash his crimes or anything he's done. It doesn't mean that he's not a perv anymore. But
Yeah,
people,
I'm going through the case, right, and what the charges were and things like this. So I'm trying to come across the part where you were talking about violence and things like this, because a lot of the substances that were listed here are substances that you would be taken with the knowledge of knowing that you're taking them, if you see what I'm saying.
yeah, but the press
And
is
I
not reporting
feel
everything. The press is not reporting everything as usual. There's a
okay,
lot of things that in his case, they have kept quiet because they don't want to
right?
paint his image or his thing. And this is the thing with Diddy. You know that I was watching this guy who's actually a lawyer. He's very serious. He has a channel. He's very big. He's very good. And he's saying that the judge is now looking and because they brought up this Abercrombie Finch. Remember when I told you when I found out about that guy, I said Diddy's going to use this guy. Why did they let him in with 10 million walking out smiling? Uh, the guy that this lawyer on YouTube said, because he was there, he went there, and he said that he was inside the courtroom, and he said that him as a layman, other than what's in the press and what people have been interviewing victims or so called, that the prosecution has to present solid evidence of his crimes, and in order for them, this man is too violent. They didn't present anything. They just went on, oh, well, we have victims, but there's nothing. And I actually did a video where I said it would have been good to have the victims, especially, for example, in the case of Misha, where she has outed herself as a victim, right? She was a Jane Doe. It would have been good to have her there at the hearing, at the bail hearing, saying, you know what? But no, they didn't have her there, because they can give testimonies, if you have the victims and they can give testimony. I don't want it because this guy can threaten me or this, whatever. They didn't have her there. But the guy who was inside the courtroom, who's a lawyer, said that the prosecution didn't have very much yet. They didn't present any like hardcore evidence to the crimes that he's being accused of. And the judge was asking, well, what else do you have? And this guy was inside the courtroom.
Yeah.
Well, what we have in the press is a lot of sensationalized people, the victims that are coming again. There's a lot of high profile Hollywood people and politicians and everything else. And it makes me wonder whether Diddy gave this guy up to set this thing up too.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, all my theories about Diddy being a distraction and a setup are all geared towards madness that's flying around in the skies in America right now. But yeah, I think your take's valid. But look, the next thing we want to jump on is Conor McGregor. You know who Conor McGregor is, right?
Oh yeah, he lost it, didn't he?
Well, here's the thing. So I
Mm.
want to
I
dive
like
into
him, but,
this. I want to dive into this because I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this one. So Conor McGregor has spoken out after losing his civil R-word case as a feminist march is held in Dublin. The MMA fighter was accused of R-ing Nikita Hand, who was awarded £206,000 in damages on Friday after a jury at Dublin's High Court found McGregor assaulted her in a Dublin hotel in 2018. Posting on social media, the 36-year-old said, "I know I made mistakes. It comes as hundreds of people in Dublin stage a demonstration in utter solidarity with Miss Hand." Posting on X, McGregor said, "People want to hear from me. I needed time. I know I made mistakes 6 years ago. I should never have responded to her outreaches. I should have shut the party down. I should never have stepped out on a woman that I loved most in the world. That's all on me. As much as I regret it, everything that happened that night was consensual, and all the witnesses present swore under oath that I'm okay, he's going to appeal it. I need to go back and come forward. I'm beyond grateful to my family and friends." Okay. So, speaking outside the court, the decision, an emotional Miss Hand said that two week long civil case has been a nightmare, but that justice has been served. It is something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life," she added. But in Dublin on Monday night, how is this a civil case? It's like our word is a pretty serious crime, no? I mean, I don't understand if he's
Because you can, as a victim, you can bring a civil case if the police have refused to prosecute it. So
okay.
if you claim it, so civil case and criminal cases are two different things. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe he already the deadline for whatever to
Okay.
filing this has
Okay.
expired,
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
So people can still bring in certain cases, and depending, because I understand that the civil case burden is different than the criminal court case, the criminal one, and the
Yeah.
criminal deadline and the criminal accusations have a certain deadline. I don't know where this is filed. Was it in New York,
It was
and
Dublin, I think.
Dublin? I don't know what the standards are there, but the thing is, though, he says he's going to fight it and that he has appealed it.
But if you've now been found guilty of that in civil court, would that not mean then you can
No, no,
just
no, 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 no. He was found liable, not guilty.
Okay. Okay, that's I just
In the civil court cases, the burden of proof is very minor. It's much less than the criminal, because the criminal one implies jail. So the police probably thought that there were not enough hardcore evidence to jail him or to get a
yeah. Well,
conviction.
yeah,
So
well,
she
listen,
went to civil court.
that's fairly that kind of sounds standard for that whole the whole R word genre of the criminal world in the UK. It's less than 14% of victims sadly report the crime, and I think the conviction rate is even smaller, or even the ones that get taken to court is even smaller. And there was a documentary that was actually made called "R Word is Legal in the UK" or something along those lines, that delves into the fact that it's usually the victims who are probed more than the people who are accused. It's wild. Uh, yeah, the Nico videos are gone. Yeah, that's sad. Oh well, never mind. We'll get them back up. Um, Speaking outside the court after the decision, oh, we've done that bit. It's the next bit down here. Okay, participants chanted, "Stand with Nikita and no more fear, no more shaping. We reject your victim blaming," as they carried signs and banners through the capital streets. Ruth Coppinger, a councillor and general electrician candidate, and Natasha O'Brien, who became a public figure after a soldier received a suspended sentence for assaulting her, both spoke at the event. Miss Coppinger said that Miss Hand was incredibly brave woman, and that she was watching the event via live stream. Miss O'Brien was cheered as she had been in awe of Mrs. Hand's courage, and the island had let out a collective sigh of relief after the jury found in Hand's favor. Okay, McGregor was accused of having brutally ard and bead Miss Hand. She was taken in an ambulance to Rotunda Hospital the following day, where a paramedic who assessed her told the court she had not seen someone so bruised in a long time. I'm so sorry, my brain is not working today. Following 8 days of evidence and 3 days of closed speeches, the judge's instructions out to the jury. The jury of 8 women, 4 men spent 6 hours and 10 minutes deliberating before returning their verdict. Damn. I mean, that sounds a lot like Conor McGregor has just been done in one way or another for allegedly R-wording this woman. I mean, I don't know how else to take this. I don't know how else to take this. After he lost a civil case. This is not good.
Well, maybe again, we have to see all of the things. There was a woman.
Sorry, Paul, keep talking. Okay.
No, like Cristiano Ronaldo. All of those of you who know me know that Cristiano, I'm a hardcore, the GOAT.
Yep.
You know, he was accused by a woman in, I believe, in Vegas or something like that, and he fought it for years. He signed. He said, "I don't want this, on my record," because then it found out what it was found out, that she willingly went and everything was a lie. but he had to fight it for years. I mean, even last year or 2 years ago, they were still talking about it. I think in his interview with Piers Morgan, and he was really angry because he says, "I'm not going to give her a cent because I know I didn't do that." So you had the problem that you have is that you have these kinds of women who do these kinds of things, and they make it harder for other women to do that.
Yeah, 100%. It's just wild. So no, I don't know. I just feel like if you've been found guilty in any court of a crime like that, and there's a way of escalating it to the next court, shouldn't that be the next step?
Well, depends. I mean, I don't know the law in Dublin. When did she allege this happened? Are you happy
I
you
think it
said
was. I think it
alleged?
was 6. I think it was 6 years ago.
Okay,
Possibly.
depends on some cases. In some cases, it's 5 years, the deadline for criminal police investigation. I mean, the police that will have to see you said that she was hurt, she was taken to the hospital, and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
here's
it
the
said
thing.
there.
Here's the thing. We had the paramedics talking about bruising, right? So yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good for. It's not a good look, and in the midst of Conor McGregor becoming part owner of the BKFC, which is the bare knuckle box, BKFC. I can't remember. I can't remember. Bare knuckle fighting championship or something. BKF. What the hell is it called? BK. What the hell is it saying?
I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Hang on. It's going to annoy me. This company here, just so that everyone knows I'm not crazy, right? BKFC, bare knuckle fighting championship. That is the one. He's a part owner of this now, and this was, I mean, this is like one of my favorite sports in the world is bare knuckle, and I'm a bit worried now for what's going to happen with all this, because that is not a good look for Conor McGregor or anyone involved with Conor McGregor. I know he's got a whiskey, he's got a stout, which is like a beer. Yeah, not a good look, mate, at all. I just don't understand how this can't now go to another like the criminal charges. Yeah, it's frustrating as hell. Listen, everybody, if you could do me a big favor and give this a little like and a little share. At this point, it is the time of the day where we ask you to like and we'll ask you to share. Maggie, we've just talked about it, but you just come in right as I'm about to change the topic. But before we go, let me get
Mhm.
your take on. I've lost the bloody news report. But we were just talking about Conor McGregor losing in civil court for his accusations of R-ing.
Mhm.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We've also got a little video here, so we'll play this with the sound this time.
Yeah.
Any reaction or apology to the women at the centre of this? A man whose entire career is fighting. This time, he lost this fight to save his reputation. The jury here finding this sports star attacked Nikita Hand, and he's been ordered to pay the victim €248,000 in damages. Here's what we know. This is a case centred on a hotel here in Dublin, a Christmas night out in 2018, where Conor McGregor claimed he had consensual sex with Nikita Hand, as did his friend. But her version was the one the jury believed. The court heard it was a sex attack described as brutal and savage, so severe, paramedics claimed they'd never seen bruising like it.
I want to thank the doctors, nurses, and everyone at the sexual assault treatment unit in the Rotunda Hospital for looking after me, especially my own Dr. Frank Clark.
Nikita's legal team say she suffers from PTSD, and Conor McGregor was a devious coward who wouldn't take no for an answer. Irish prosecutors previously ruled out a criminal case, so these were instead civil proceedings. The burden of proof is lower, and the claims must be proved on a balance of probability rather than beyond reasonable doubt, as would be the case in any criminal trial. The jury simply had to answer the question about whether they believe this attack happened, and they answered yes. So there's no prison sentence. Instead, Nikita Hand will get damages of around €250,000.
I want to show Freya and every other girl and boy that you can stand up for yourself if something happens to you, no matter who the person is. and justice will be served.
Conor McGregor put his head in his hands as the decision was declared here in Dublin. You could cut the tension with a knife. He now plans to appeal and wants to spend time with his family while he focuses on the future. But the question is, what does that future look like?
What does that future look like? Indeed, Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know much
Just
about
to
this?
say, Paula, you're really cute.
Yeah, I decided to get in the Christmas spirit, you know. It was
But
bought
yeah,
for
you're,
Santa, but she won't wear it.
it's so cute. But yeah, Ron, what are you saying?
What's your take on the Conor McGregor case? Have you got any take on it? Do you know much about it? Like, what's
Yeah,
your thoughts?
I think that justice was served
Well,
in a certain way.
like, yeah. If this was the only justice she could get, then justice has
Yeah,
been served.
exactly.
If that makes sense. Yeah, I'm with you.
But do you
I'm
think
with
they're going to
Exactly.
be able to prosecute it because it's 6 years? Do you know what the deadline is for criminal cases, Ron, like this?
No, I didn't. To be honest,
It
I'm just
said,
jumping into this morning,
yeah,
just because of the headlines this morning. I was waiting to see what the verdict was going to be. We've seen the verdict now. It is, like I say, it is
hello,
not
Queenie.
at all.
But yeah, just to
Unfilmed.
say that the woman started at first, she wanted to do a criminal case, but
Yeah,
she didn't have enough, you know. So it was better to go as a civil court case, though. So he will never go to, like, he will never have a criminal charge. But I
oh, he
think
was
it's
clear.
pretty
Oh, hang on a
clear.
second. Hang on a second. I'm going to stick to the facts, mate. He was cleared of the R. Okay, let me just
He
have a look.
was not cleared. He was never prosecuted.
Okay. So that's okay. Right.
He
Let
was
me go
not
back.
prosecuted.
So was
There
he
were,
prosecuted? Wait, so
he was not, because this is a civil case. The criminal case, when she started at the beginning, they told her that there was not enough, that it was better. I think it was a lawyer who told her that it was better to go for a civil case. So there is no criminal case. He was not acquitted because there's nothing to acquit him of, because there was no case.
So yeah, Tony, it's very confusing when these are the things I'm reading on the screen. If that
Well,
makes
it's,
sense.
What do you think there was no case to prosecute? Because that's what it really comes down to. That I am sure she went
She's
to
a
the
damn
police.
liar. Hello, good
what did you
day.
say, Queenie? Hello, Queenie.
She's lying.
You
Oh,
think she,
Why?
you think she's lying? Okay,
Of
let's hear your
of
take,
course,
Queenie.
she is a liar.
Why?
Listen, yeah, I've listened this case. How is it you are traumatized? Someone violently are you, and in less than couple hours you're going back to that same hotel to go and bang his friend? Come on now. And
to
when
go what?
friend, the reason why she could go and do a criminal case because she had no evidence, because the friend had relations with her. She had no mark or anything on her. So hence why she could not go with no criminal case against him. She's a liar. And then
Interesting.
after
Interesting.
we did all that, case went to court for civil. After the what do you call, the
Queenie,
jury left, and the
Queenie,
yes.
your audio is interesting.
No, it's just the way it is,
Oh my
Maggie.
God, I don't know what's
Oh,
going
okay.
on with my phone.
Yeah. Keep going with
Don't
what
know
you're
what's
saying.
going on with my phone. It's crazy. Yes, after she the case, they awarded her what amount.
Yeah, Queenie,
Then
honestly,
the
it's bad, mate.
final.
It's so
Oh
bad.
my God, I don't know what that. I
You need
mean,
you
my
need to
phone.
you need to get headphones or something, mate. It's tragic. So that's interesting then.
But I do believe that woman. I think that she had proof from her doctor, from all the bruising that she had. And she has lost a lot after. If it was just about, having fun, why would she not be able even to work anymore?
No, I'm with you, but
Hmm.
it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything.
What doesn't mean anything?
Well, I mean, if someone's saying that they're too traumatized to work, in the grand
Hmm.
scheme of if we were looking at this from the argument that she isn't telling the truth, then there's multiple people that I know that don't tell the truth in order to work. And it's got nothing to do with an R-word case.
What I mean by that is that this is another proof. She had the bruising. She couldn't before she was working. Now she couldn't. That means that there was something traumatic that happened in that period.
But what I'm saying is, I could bruise myself, though, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. So maybe this is why the criminal courts weren't interested in it.
It's not the criminal court that were not interested. Her lawyer told her that it was better to go for a civil case.
Yeah, because the criminal, it wouldn't have gotten. That's interesting. Anyway, like I said, I'm just coming into this morning. I don't really have a take on it. I'm going to wait and see how it plays out with the appeals. But it's interesting to get all your takes. It's good to get a different dynamic on it all, because, like I say, you hear that R word.
Can you guys hear me much better now?
It's
not
better,
much better. A smidgen better, I would say, a little better.
Oh my God, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, your mic. There's something definitely. Are you using the headphones? Are you using the headphones? Or are you still just using your handset?
No, my son took my headphones now, so no, I don't have it.
Okay, yeah, because it's definitely. It sounds like it's a microphone issue. Is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
I'm getting an internet spike warning. Hang on a second. There we go. Yeah, it's
no, but wait a minute. I want to know what Queenie said. She said that what is it that she did, Queenie? She, after he R'd her, she went back to the hotel.
He never R'd her. Everything was consensual. That was consensual. Yeah, they were texting. They were.
Queenie, try
can I finish?
Yeah, just try speaking a little quieter and to see if it's a noise level.
Yeah. Thing. Okay. Can you hear me better? Because the phone is far away from me, so I don't know.
Try speaking a little.
I'm trying to. Okay, can you hear me better?
It's a little bit better, yeah.
I don't know what's going on with my phone. Okay. They had consensual relations, yeah, and she and her friend were texting each other.
Yeah, no, Queenie, it's getting worse. If anything, mate, I'm sorry.
Regard.
Do you know what, Queenie? Send me your address, and I'll send you a set of headphones.
She get back home to her man, because they recently even.
Yeah, Queenie. I mean, is it just me, or can anyone hear you?
I cannot hear
Queenie.
anything.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Queenie. I'm sorry, mate. You need to sort that. I'll send you a headset down. I've got a whole freaking box full of headsets.
And I'm seeing on the chat like ITV, scary to be a man when we can be charged on hearsay without evidence. Sincerely, the woman, like he was saying, Jonathan Major, Amber Heard. It is true that men can be accused for no reason. That is something that we have observed like for a couple of years. But I think that in this situation, from what I've heard, from what I've seen of the case, she had proof and she had bruising. She was in pain. She went to the police directly after.
You've also said that she could have bruised. I mean, we can bruise ourselves, if that makes sense. There's probable doubt there.
Yes.
It's not a nice situation, and I'm not saying
they can bruise themselves. We're not gonna go with that because in the Amber Heard situation, why I don't believe her is because there was no bruising. It's not that she bruised herself. I'm not gonna start doing the semantic of the woman could have hurt herself just to blah 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 blah. If she has proof, if she has like a doctor knows,
why would you not have the semantic of the possibility of a woman hurting herself?
Because this is starting to do the blaming the victim. This is starting to be
it's getting to the truth.
No, because now you're saying you are saying that she may have hurt herself.
I asked you. I asked you what your reasons were for believing her. You said to me because she had bruising. And I asked you, if people could have caused bruising to themselves, and you said yes. I've not got any take on this. I'm waiting to see how it all plays out. I just think it's interesting.
It's already played out. Now he can go. Of course, he can try to. Even
Appeal,
Amber Heard
yeah.
was saying that she was going to appeal, but then literally, Conor McGregor, he wrote that message that he was going to appeal, and then he removed it from his Twitter. So, like I'm saying, yes, she could have hurt herself. Yes, she could have literally done so many things. But I am of the mindset, I believe the victim, except if the victim clearly shows that they have zero proof. Amber Heard had zero proof. Jonathan Major, the woman, was literally running after him. So it's not like the woman with Jonathan Major came out, she had so much bruising, and then Jonathan Major's argument was like she did it to herself. No, she had none. You know what I mean? So I'm not. That's why I'm saying that I don't like going into the. Did she do it herself? Did she do it this? Because I'm just like, this can go into victim blaming. But for Jonathan Major and Amber Heard, it's so clear that the woman was in the wrong. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you. No, I just wanted to get your take on it. I'm not.
Yeah. I understand. I understand. It's just I don't like did she hurt herself? Because Amber Heard, like I said, she would say that she has a broken nose, and then we will see her later, and she would.
It's not whether or not you like something or not. It's just about the truth. And for me, there's so
that's what
many.
I'm saying. I don't like it as an argument.
There's so many. Well, it's not an argument. I wasn't arguing a point. I was asking you a question.
You're saying that she could hurt herself.
No, I was asking you the reasons behind why you believed her, and you said, well, the bruising. And then I asked you whether
the PTSD, the doctor, there's everything. There's a lot of things.
I get that.
And then you told me as an argument, you asked
all of which you could quite easily
do to yourself.
So
why?
Yourself,
okay, so why are you? So I'm going to ask you, why are you asking that question?
Well, because I thought it was quite an interesting point that she went back to the hotel afterwards, and then when you hear about that, and then you hear about the evidence, I'm then wondering how much of the evidence could have been fabricated by somebody who may have invented a story. Because I think it's interesting to explore all avenues. I don't really know where I land on this.
Why did she go back to the hotel? From what you know, why did she go back to the
hotel? Wait a minute. Let me just say something. From what I understand, it wasn't just that she went back to the hotel. Apparently, they were texting, and she wanted to do it again. So,
and again, I don't know. It's one of those cases. Hey, listen, the courts have ruled, and hopefully, if there is a pile of evidence, or there was enough to rule here, if McGregor's guilty of all these things, then the next it's got to be criminal next. But again, I'm not casting judgment. I'm going to definitely say it's it's a horrific situation. But man.
Okay, so what was her excuse? Like, people are telling me that she went back to the hotel, like you're saying. What did she say as an argument? Because that would clearly have been said in court.
I have no idea. It was just it was just what Queenie was saying. I'm just going into this. I was just going over the headline this morning
because I didn't see that, so that's why I was asking.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. Well, listen, we were earlier on. I was talking about this video where a YouTuber has gone into Diddy's abandoned mansion and sort of filmed about. I'm just going to sort of play this in the background and ask you guys, because we were Paul and I were talking about this. I don't know if we talked about it yesterday, Maggie. Where are you landing now on the likelihood of bail for the diddler? Right, I think all of us a few weeks ago were laughing at the concept. You know, you'll never get out. But it seems to be something that is legitimately being considered by this new judge in the case. What's your take on it all while we virtually tour the abandoned Diddy mansion?
I think that there is an 80% chance that he stays in jail and a 20% chance that he could have bail. There is more of a chance that he could have bail. Before I would have just said 0%. But now I do believe that there is a little chance, but people are making a big deal out of like the little thing that he has, but I don't think it's that much of a big deal.
I feel like that 20% though is like a swing state in an American vote, where really the things
Exactly.
involved in that 20% are kind of amounting to more than the 80%, if you know what I'm saying. Because I kind of feel that
Exactly.
I kind of feel like do you remember at the start of all this, I said a witness is going to come forward, they're going to be all over the news, and then they're going to turn out to be a liar and it's going to derail the whole case, right?
Yeah.
I said
I
that.
think I got it wrong. I think they're just going to give him bail. And this isn't just going to fizzle out, is it? This isn't just going to be one of those guy gets bail and then it fizzles out.
No,
Or
no, no,
it can't, right? Because
no.
there's the RICO stuff. I mean, it doesn't really get much worse in the crime charge world in America than a RICO charge. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes a 10-year
Why do you
sentence.
believe that he could go, that he could have bail?
Well, because I'm now all over the place as to why he's even ended up in jail. Okay, because we got and we're not going mainstream here. We're going Ron's.
I'm so sorry. What?
Yeah, I agree with. I've been saying
Well,
this from the
let
beginning.
me finish, right? So we're
Mhm.
going with how Ron sees this with the cabal and all of this, right? They don't
Okay.
people they don't just get arrested and go to jail. None of them, right? If they did, millions of children would be free, living their lives and having a great time, right? So
Mhm.
we have to assume then that he was either offered up, because I mean we're talking celebrities. These people can do outrageous things and we won't even hear about them. Do you know what I mean? So for one of them to
Yes.
end up in jail, he must have done something to annoy somebody, or
Mhm.
there's something bigger than the entire magnitude of the Diddy case that's
Mhm.
going on that we need a distraction from, right? And
Okay.
a little tiny bit of me, and I
Mhm.
hate to say this, but a little tiny bit of me thinks we're all being distracted from what's going on in the skies in America.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
that doesn't explain. But that doesn't explain why you believe that he would get bail, because that, like,
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot the old part of the question.
exactly.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see him get bail because it's all part
Mhm.
of the plan. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just so confused as to.
can I say something wrong with that?
I don't
I
know
think
why he's going
that
to get
the
bail,
reason
Manchi. I don't
why
know. I really
I
don't.
think he's gonna get bail now because the
Okay.
election is over, and I do believe that he was arrested and the files were taken of all those important people to try to blackmail them into endorsing their Kamala. It didn't
Mhm.
work, even
Mhm.
though I mean major stars they got paid, but there's still and I'm not the only one talking about it. All over TikTok and other YouTubers are also saying this, that now that it didn't work, even with the tapes or whatever, what's the point of keeping him in jail? I mean,
What's the point of keeping him in jail? What?
one of the things that they were holding him for is because like a warning to the celebrities that if they didn't play
Yep.
ball and
Yep.
endorse
I can
Kamala,
agree with that
they
too.
would be the
100%.
they would be next because they had
Yep.
the tapes. The FBI had the tapes. And one of the things that I do know the FBI does, because it started with the founder of the AB, John Edgar Hoover, is that he would gather information like secrets, and he would blackmail politicians. This is why he stayed in the FBI forever, because that was his main thing, gathering information, and he would pull the little file when he needed them to do dance like a monkey. Now,
Mhm.
I believe that Diddy was kept in jail as a warning to Jay-Z, Beyonce, all of them people. Leonardo DiCaprio, for the first time in history, endorsed Kamala.
Mhm.
You know,
So you think that now that she lost, that there is no point in keeping Diddy in jail?
no, because because legally speaking, and this is what from the lawyer. I'm going to send you the clip of that lawyer, Ron, because I have to find it. I liked it when I gave it a like.
All
He's
right. No
actually
problem.
a proper lawyer, and he was inside the courtroom. And he said, when I was waiting to hear, because in order for you to argue against bail,
Mhm.
you have to say, listen, you don't have to give your whole thing, but you can say, listen, we have this and this and this, and these are this is the evidence we have against this man that shows X, Y, and Z. The
Mhm.
prosecution presented nothing. They just said, well, we're charging him with traffic. Okay. And the judge asked, okay, you're charging him, but what is your evidence?
They have a lot of evidence, Paula.
No. But
Mhm.
I understand. We don't know that. The thing is that
Yes, they do. It's the feds. They don't arrest you for no reason
but they couldn't present it to the judge, and the judge is saying,
because it's not the case now. Now we are talking about just bail.
I
I thought
understand.
you were
But
going to talk
no.
about
Even when
Abercrombie.
you're denying somebody bail like
Yeah.
this for these kinds of things, you don't have to give the entire case, but you can say, listen, we have at least these things and this and that, because the judge has to be
That's what.
convinced.
You know, I think
Yeah.
you're both.
That's
I
why
think
he
you're both
was
right. I
Ron.
think you're
Ron,
both
just
right on this.
we're not arguing. I am just listening, but I
No,
think that
no.
because because he was denied bail this is the fourth time. So the feds and the prosecutor clearly have a case. I think that the only reason why I'm giving them like 20% is because of the Abercrombie machin truc. Okay, that's why. It's the only reason, because I know that he's trying to use the race card to try to say that it's unfair.
Ike Jones Maxwell said they do arrest you for nothing. I have firsthand experience of that. So,
Not
but
the
I want to
feds, not the
no,
feds.
even the feds have
Mhm.
committed. I mean, the feds have committed mistakes. Have made
Yes,
mistakes. It's
Of
not the
course,
first
yes,
time.
the
And
but
if you
feds.
that's
look at this,
Diddy.
Ron,
But that's Diddy. They wouldn't commit a mistake with Diddy.
Well,
but
here's
as it
here's
stands right now, this is the first time he tries bail after the election.
Okay,
The
yes,
other
that's
times
true.
were denied prior to the election. Now you can see that the judges, wait a minute,
Because
maybe,
of the Abercrombie thing. It's only because of the
yeah,
yeah.
Abercrombie.
I think there's a big difference
yeah.
in the
Okay, maybe
the
there is.
criminalization of Diddy's charges and the crime lord factor compared to Abercrombie and Fitch. There's also a lot of guns or pew pews involved
Exactly.
in the Diddy side of it.
Yeah, that's why I
Also,
am not
Queenie,
giving more than 20.
I'm in VC, Queenie, waiting on you. I've seen your message. I put it up on screen. So just come into the members' voice channel room and we'll see if that works.
But the like I said, the only reason why it's because even though the Abercrombie and thing, he doesn't have like the charge like
Rico.
Ron was saying that like they don't have the RICO thing. That's why I don't really believe that Diddy will get bail, because there's the fact that they don't have the exact same
Yeah.
charge. The fact that the Abercrombie thingy was never convicted of anything, and the fact that he's 80 years old. That's an old man.
I think as well, I think at this point, I feel like I'm getting desensitized from the Diddy case. We've got to remember, we're talking about the feds. We're talking about a potential massive RICO case. If I was the feds, I'd be playing all my cards close to my chest. I'd be keeping him until his trial, and I would be making any deals. Right? Just give me 1 second, Paul. I know you want me to bring something up. Let me just see if Queenie sounds any better. Queenie, you there? Your microphone's off, Queenie. Oh, maybe is that? Oh, hang on. I've unmuted you. There you go. You there, Queenie?
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yeah, that
oh
is
my God,
weird.
yes. oh my God,
I don't
yes.
know what's going on with my.
Oh,
I don't know. I think maybe it's StreamYard or whatever it is.
I think it is. Yeah, it's definitely not a you issue. Anyway, we've now established that. So I now take back everything I've said about you and your phone and your microphone on Reddit after every one of my streams where I just spew my toxic rage. No, I'm kidding. But listen, before we get into letting Queenie finish what she was saying and getting back to all this, can I get some likes and some shares? If we can just give me a little help to push this out, it would really be a big help. I'm sort of experimenting with different starting times all this week, so it would really make all the difference if you guys can help me push this out. And Queenie, yes,
yeah,
right. So Queenie, what we're going to do, we've sort of moved on now from Conor McGregor.
that's okay. We can carry on moving on, but we can go back to that another day. But
Yeah.
she's a liar. That's just my thing, and I'm not taking it back.
That's
if
right.
I'm proven wrong, then I will say
I'm with you.
I'm wrong. But from now, with all the things that I've read and seen, she's a liar, and she's just wanting money. And then we can move on.
Yeah, we'll revisit it another day because it's I would like more. I would like to delve into all the facts as well, which is
Yeah, there is lots of things there to prove that she's just wanting money.
Well, listen, I'm sure there's probably strong arguments for both sides. If I'm being,
The thing is, he didn't deny that they had relations, and she didn't deny that. But she's saying, "Oh, she was beaten and whatever." But after then, she went back to the same. How can someone argue so badly and less than 2 hours you're going back to the same hotel to go and bang his friends?
no,
That don't
I'm
even
with
make
you.
sense.
Listen, again, what you're saying, I'm not, I'm just listening to you. So it's one of those ones. I want to go and do a bit of investigating. Now,
Yeah, you can go and read the stuff about it. It's very interesting.
yeah,
And afterwards, when they went to court, they wanted another 750,000. Like they almost want 1 million, and the
yeah.
judge have to say, "Hell no! What does that have to do with him?" Apparently, someone breaking her home, and she wanted money to move. It's all about money.
Okay,
These
yeah.
little.
All right, that's fine.
Anyway,
Like I
let's
say, we
move on.
will retouch on it another day. Helen, you're asking about when we're doing that refresher night. We're it's code name past offense. Okay, so you can all read what. Oh no, now I've lost the comment. Helen, someone has said Mike is coming to join us. Mike looks like he's at a hidden location right now. He looks like he's left the cave and he's living a normal
Hello,
life.
Mike.
What's happening, brother?
Hello, what's going on? I am trying to learn how to work this stuff.
Hi,
That's all.
Mike. Hello.
Hey, I got it this time.
You got it, brother. You
What's
got it.
going
Looking
on?
good. It's looking good. How are you doing?
Alrighty, I am at work. I was just letting y'all know, Ron. I wanted to come on and say how you doing and everything, and thank you for everything. I just put in a 2 weeks notice. I am leaving this
hell yeah.
place. Hell yeah!
Nice.
You
Really,
didn't want to talk to us, Mike. You
listen,
wanted only to
listen.
talk to Ron.
Listen,
Well, this is a
inside-
man.
inside-
First of all, it's a
ins-
man thing. It's a man thing.
man
Now I'm
thing,
just
yeah,
playing.
exactly.
How y'all doing?
Listen, don't you ever try and tell me that the girl power way outweighs the boy moments on my shows. Okay, it's nice to have some yes, boy. So yeah, congratulations.
It's a man's thing. It's a man thing. How
Yeah,
you
he's
doing,
unplugging
Paula?
from the
You
Matrix.
are so beautiful.
But
Paula?
Ron, you know, we were talking about the Abercrombie bench.
Paula, Mike was telling you how beautiful you are, and you just
Oh,
completely.
thank you. I didn't hear that.
Beautiful. I like. Yeah, you are so beautiful. Can y'all
Oh,
hear me?
thank you.
Maybe I gotta turn up louder.
No, she's deaf.
Okay.
She established
I
at the start
am
of the
Ron.
live stream. Yeah,
What is that on
I
your
believe
head?
you.
What you got? Some
believe you.
rabbit ears or something?
No,
What's on your head?
It's tinsel. It's tinsel.
Okay,
Christmas
okay,
tinsel.
okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's continue to where you guys was
Yeah.
at. What are y'all
Well,
talking
You
about?
know, Ron, you were talking about the CEO Abercrombie because he's going to
Yeah.
play a huge part in this, right? I have the press release from the State of Justice. This is defendants allegedly arranged for dozens of men to travel to New York and hotels around the world or for sex events. And it has a 16-count indictment was unsealed today in federal court in Central. Then he goes it's 16 count indictment. You know, and he's got used a combination of force, fraud, and coercion to traffic men while operating a prostitution enterprise. And they have Jeffrey Smith and all kinds of things. I mean, these things are tough. And this is the thing that I was telling you before, that he's going to use that because it's pretty much on par with many things. And I told you, I've been floating this thing that before the election, he applied for bail and he wasn't released because I do believe that that was a warning shot to the other celebs to play ball. Now that the election is over, Kamala didn't win. Now they get a new judge, or I don't know if it's the same judge. And the judge is going, well, wait a minute. Let me give you the other ones. I think it was a straight up no. This judge is like, wait a minute. You know, it's like suddenly they're more lenient towards Diddy. You know,
I don't think it's
Wow.
suddenly. It's really about the Abercrombie thing.
Yeah, but the guy, it's because, and it's unbelievable that we have this white man, and I'm not about race because you know, guys, I don't buy the race card or anything, but it does play a part whether we like it or not.
Okay.
Because Diddy, I mean, look at Epstein. How many years does he get away with it for? I mean, first in Miami, Florida, remember that girl, and he got off with what? Having sex with an underage or a prostitute or whatever, and he got on for years, 4 years, until somebody sold him out. They have to piss somebody off in order for them
Yeah.
to be sold out.
Yeah, that's
What do
Right,
you think?
right.
Well, this is it, and I think the whole sending a message narrative. I mean, I can get on board. I can get on board with so many narratives behind this Diddy case, but the one that I'm hoping for, right, is that the feds have got an airtight, like a completely airtight case. Okay, they've got it locked down, and come next year in May or March, whenever it is, we are going to see some justice, and we're going to see a major case, because I don't know if I can see it getting
What do you
taken
think,
all
Mike?
the
What do you
way
think, Mike? What
and
do you
fizzle
think?
out into the court. I really
Right.
think they've got to have something strong. Yeah, Mike, what's your take?
What do you think about the bail thing? Yes or no on the bail? You think he's gonna make bail? I'm mad over this judge.
What do you
Thomas.
think? What do you think? What do you think with what you know and everything?
I think if this is what I think, if he makes bail, it's some crooked stuff way up. It's too much crooked stuff.
Mhm.
Why are y'all not looking? Something got to be on them tapes. If he don't make bail, there's something on the tapes. Everybody's playing hardball. Everybody's playing hardball, and he don't deserve to be out. We already know that he don't deserve to be out. We already know that.
yes.
But for some reason, I can't put. I just did a video on the guy just stepped down. He's stepping down. Did y'all hear about that?
The
The
what?
guy, the prosecutor dude, the attorney guy, is stepping down.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know his name. Did y'all hear about that?
Yeah. I heard about that, and it's like, what? What's going on here?
The Manhattan, USA attorney, Damian Williams, is stepping down, and this is the guy who's talking and all on public saying, we don't play with this human trafficking and we get straight to it and all this stuff. Now you stepping down. Why are you stepping down? We had 3 different judges. What is going on?
That's the
The
same
thing-
guy, right? That gave the press conference, and when he was asked why did it take you so long to bring the charges, he says, "Well, it doesn't matter how long it took. We're here now." And I'm like, "Back up the truck, buddy. It does matter. If you know that
Right,
this guy
right.
was doing it for years, why didn't you stop? How many victims could have not happened?"
So today is Tuesday, right? Here,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
don't know. Yeah. My point is, the judge said I'm gonna get back to you early next week. Early is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is midweek, then Thursday week. So, yo, man, what you gonna do? You gonna let the guy out? You gonna go against the other 2 judges, and you gonna be the dummy to let him out? Or I don't know, lack of a better word. Everybody knows. I don't care who you are. 120 cases. 120. That's not even including the 5 or 6 that's not even with this guy. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Ray Charles can see this. Anybody can see that this man has done something. 90 terabytes of tapes. Look at this stuff. Look at. I'm gonna be so hurt, man. They let him out on bail. I'm gonna be so hurt.
Okay, Mike, I understand, but okay. What is the reason why they don't allow bail? For him to flee, or he's a danger to people, right? But let's face it. Are you trying to tell me seriously that this man doesn't have access to the outside through his lawyers or whatever if he want to hurt witnesses and stuff? Of course he does. Like, please,
If they let him
And it's
out,
gonna be worse.
if they let him out, and he knows he knows what's on the tapes, so he knows if I get a chance to get out, I'm gone. See y'all. Yeah, my life is ruined. My fame is gone. I just want to get on some type of island and just be gone. I don't want to live my life in jail. I mean, what would you do? Think about it. I mean, it's hard for you to put yourself in that position because I know you would never do all that negativity stuff. But think of a man, a villain, a movie. And this movie actually says if I can get out just a teeny bit, I'm gone. Like Silence of the Lamb. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be gone. That's it.
You know what I think? I think he has. Remember that plane that the day before the raid, it took off and there is no known location where it went because it went dark for hours and the FBI claimed that they didn't know. And he physically took stuff. I think that if he gets out, he's gonna go for that. Because I'm
Jesus.
sure this man was tipped before the raid happened.
Look at that house, y'all. Look at this house.
Oh.
That is crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. Look,
Yeah, that's Diddy's abandoned mansion.
I could
Wonder.
not even imagine living in a house that big. That's
It's
too much
crazy,
house
right?
for anybody. I would be freaking out, man. What I hear downstairs? No, on the
Yeah.
third level
Well,
downstairs. What's upstairs?
there's a rumor
If there are any tunnels
that
out there.
allegedly Diddy abandoned it when the ghost of Biggie Smalls appeared in front of him in the house. That's the urban myth about this house.
Wow. Is
So
that right?
that's one of them. But here's the thing, right? Diddy bought it for roughly 2.6 million and then invested
That it?
another several million in doing up this property. And he then sold it for 1.3 million. It was then boarded up, but still has all the power running to it. It has running water, everything's still running as if it's being
Who
used.
bought it?
Well, who
No one don't know.
I
don't
guess say who's paying the water bill and the electric bill? Biggie?
It's almost it's a very, but look, does this not look awfully like where Ashton Kutcher was on that swing?
And Demi Moore swinging it over the pool.
Yeah, it looks a lot like that. This looks like, it looks almost like if you were wanting to make sure all evidence was destroyed at any point over what could have went down in a certain place, you know, because when we go inside, I mean, I can't imagine the chandelier was cheap. Okay, it's just left hanging there. We'll get to the chandelier in a second. It's coming. But all the I mean, everything it's odd. I mean, maybe it's not odd, but it's
Mike,
there's a
what do you
lot.
what do you
Like-
think of all the celebrities going? None of them have come out to condemn him. Kris Jenner, Oprah, Kissy, and Kris Jenner. Oh, I take care of my biddies. You know, I'm like the godmother with that boyfriend of hers. What's his name of the Kris Jenner's boyfriend or something?
Corey Gamble.
Corey Gamble. Yeah. I mean, haven't you noticed? Like pretty much every celebrity came and condemned Weinstein except Oprah, of course. And some big people just didn't mention anything. I mean, Meryl Streep, who said that he was God, didn't even condemn him or any. None of them have condemned him. But have you noticed how quiet Hollywood is? I mean, nobody has come. They only said, "Oh, I wasn't there. I wasn't at that freak of party," but none of them have come out to defend the victims.
I actually was speaking on Discord this morning. I thought there would have been a lot more of the male SEX workers at this point who were a part of the freak-offs and things like that would have came forward. Now, I'm not saying in any way that the lack of that is making me change how I think about the case or anything, but it just makes me wonder what happened to a lot of them.
I think
how
that most
many of
of them probably have civil case and they're supposed to remain anonymous. The
Yeah,
one who come
probably.
out are the one who are putting in danger their case.
Okay. I'm with you. Okay. Well, even I don't even. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's going to be more of them who have no case because there's no. Maybe they don't have any evidence. Maybe they don't have their phones or any screen. Like literally nothing. And yeah.
I
Listen.
think we're trying to do a trial without even being in the trial.
No, I get that. No, I just what the way that they talked about the freak-offs and the way they talked
Yes.
about the sheer magnitude of male workers. It maybe we're looking at the fundamental difference between abuse on both sides of male and female in the SEX working world, if that makes sense. Maybe there was a lot more people who felt traumatized and had in their minds horrible things happen to them, or in fact have horrible things happen to them.
Okay.
maybe that was more swayed to the female side of it than the male side, if that makes sense.
Or it's just that male, first of all, there is more stigma in coming out and saying what happened to you. And also, like I said, I think it's mostly about the case. Like it really compromised your case. I think Ariel, she was the lawyer of Adria English at the beginning, but she had to drop her because she was going out and giving interview. So I really think it's about, first of all, I think male victims are more ashamed of coming out and saying what happened to them, and
Yeah,
why
maybe.
compromise the bag.
Yeah, maybe. A good point. I mean, it's a good take for sure. Yeah, I don't even know where my thought process was on this. It was just one of those things this morning. I was like, where
Nobody's
are
speaking.
all?
Okay, you're saying about the victims. I'm not talking that the victims come out and complain. I'm saying that the entire Hollywood set, they're simply saying,
Yes.
"Oh, it wasn't me," but they're not saying, "My God, how can Diddy do that? Diddy, I mean, this is abhorrent." Like we didn't know that this was happening. We feel bad for the victims. They have our support. Nothing.
Yeah,
Where
well,
is the
listen,
Me Too movement for these people, male
all,
and female?
all I'm saying is the Trump winning the election has finally affected my life, and that is in the form of Ellen DeGeneres just leaving America and coming to.
She's
So
in
now
Cotswold. It's beautiful.
so now all I'm
Did you
saying
see that
is,
she dyed her hair brown?
yeah, listen, all I'm saying is we'll take back Meghan Markle if you take back Ellen DeGeneres. It's almost like a weird hostage scenario where both of the hostages are willingly in the opposing person's court. Okay, we can do a mutual exchange
She's in the
in an
Cotswold.
open
It's
field,
beautiful.
whatever you want to do.
Yeah, yeah,
Ron,
yeah.
I sent you an article. Can you show it, please?
You know that at the Cotswold, I used to go there every weekend.
And
I
the
used to
private
have a
chat.
house there, and it was so. I used to rent a house there every weekend. We'd go every weekend to the Cotswold. Can you imagine if I had bumped into Ellen? I would have said quite a few things to her. It's just but, like you still haven't said anything about why do you think Hollywood is so quiet? Oh my God, really, that was a brutal picture. Not today, hasn't it?
So he should
So
be too.
But Mike, what do you think of Hollywood? Why is Hollywood
No,
so
well,
quiet?
no, one second. Listen, I mean, even the madness of my brain can understand. There's a big difference between having charges that look similar on paper, but one of them being a RICO case. Okay, and I can't imagine any judge is going to. I think that's the one thing that's going to basically veto his bails is when the judges, even if it's a new judge, they're going through the big checklist. Oh, SEX transportation. Oh, forced this, forced that. RICO charge. Because RICO is that's like some Sopranos level madness, the RICO stuff. I mean, that is organized crime. That's when it goes from being like a fun and friendly little bit of criminal activity to serious. I mean, I don't think there's any higher than RICO for scary criminal charges for crime empires, if that makes sense. Because, like
exactly.
I say, it can make a 8 to 10 year sentence go up to 300 years. It's
exactly.
Can y'all hear me now? Y'all couldn't hear me?
Oh yeah, Mike.
No, Mike, we couldn't hear
you were
you.
being quiet, bro.
So, Mike, can you tell us why Tinseltown is so quiet?
They texted me saying, "I think you muted." I'm looking. I'm not muted. I am. The 48 votes was not turned on my. I moved my stuff back to the office, and anyway,
that's right.
The question is, here's what I think. I think that they had a choice. You want to be in this music business? This is what you're gonna have to do, and you're gonna have to get deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
They made that choice. They wish they didn't make the choice, but they live in the glamorous life. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I have seen some things. I tried my best not to participate. Did you hear the girl? Did you hear the lady say that this stuff is so powerful that in your mind that you don't want to have sex with no man, to my boys, to my men. You don't want to have sex with no men. You doing it. You know you don't want to do it, but you're doing it anyway. That's what this horse tranquilizer or whatever this crap is they talking about will make you do. And she's saying that because she's talking through experience.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that allegedly Rick Ross, Mick Mills, these are the people I'm researching, because in my mind, they don't have the talent to be that high. Puffy doesn't have the talent to be that high. The numbers show. The people have spoken. You know who got talent to be that high? Eminem, Dr. Dre. The people have spoken.
What do you mean by that? Sorry, what do you mean the talent to be that high?
The people. When Eminem puts a song out and he gets on YouTube, he
Oh,
almost
yeah.
break
Oh, yeah,
YouTube.
absolutely.
The
But Diddy
people
didn't
have
have that talent,
spoken.
basically.
Yeah.
When Diddy get on YouTube, the only reason why he breaking it is because they found baby oil.
Yeah. Also, has anybody actually ever heard P. Diddy rap? Like, I keep listening to his old music, and Jeff,
guess what though?
have you ever
Right.
heard of does anybody remember Starship? What was the name of Riker? The original
William Riker?
No, what was the original Star Trek captain from the 60s called? His
it was William Shatner.
William Shatner. Have you heard William Shatner sing? That's how P. Diddy sings, right? William Shatner just speaks. He done Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg.
You don't touch the captain, buddy. What are you doing? What are you doing? You do not mess
But
with
90%.
what are you doing?
90% of Puffy's lyrics was not even written by him. Puffy is not an artist. 50 Cent says this over and over again. He's not an artist. He's a businessman. So they would rap his parts over and over again. And they would keep rapping his parts, and he listened to it like it's his favorite song, and he's singing along to it. And then he go in the studio and lay his raps down.
Mike, wasn't there a video with Biggie and Diddy's always like dancing or being the driver, but it's like, and he's always around, he's like an extra. And
right, he's finding his way, but he can't last on his own, and he's mad over that. So when he put his own album out, and when he do all this other stuff, I'm the diddler. Everybody, he got Hollywood. Everybody is like, well, let's just go along with him because he making all the deals. He's pulling all the strings.
Yeah.
So I gotta put up with him in order for me to get in this music business. But guess what? I'm about to make some moves, man.
Yeah, what were you just saying there, Queenie? Also, Mike, this is Queenie. Queenie's not on the panel right now. She's on Discord because technology hates her, and this is the only way we can communicate.
Hey, Queenie.
Hello, Queenie.
Hello.
Yeah, just in case you hear someone talking, but no one on the panel is talking, and you start thinking that you're going crazy. It's just our wonderful Queenie. So here's an interesting one, and it's probably old news by now, but people were talking about this, and it's just more cases of pneumonia circulating around Diddy, more deaths, more suspicion.
Right. Somebody was saying something about Uncle Ron died. He died? Because I saw the video of him talking about Jay-Z and them.
Which who?
Uncle Ron died.
Yeah,
I heard that. Yeah, he died. He was the bodyguard, wasn't he?
When did he die?
Out of pneumonia. He died of pneumonia.
So with Diddy in prison following his arrest, a variety of assault and this charges are no longer. He no longer has much need for bodyguards. In his former life, hip-hop mogul, though he appears to have employed several bodyguards, and now rumors are swirling online about one of those bodyguards. The rumors are focused on the bodyguard named Ron Smith, and there continues to be a swirl of speculation around him. Many want to know whether anything happened to Ron, who was also known as Uncle Ron. Here's what we know about the rumors surrounding him. What happened to Diddy's bodyguard, Uncle Ron? Rumors are circulating and flying around the internet suggesting that Uncle Ron died from pneumonia. These numerous firmly suggest that the number of people in Diddy's inner circle that have met their end this way is hinting at a possibility that someone in Diddy's orbit is trying to clean house. Uncle Ron, a TikTok personality, ties to Diddy. Did die. Sorry. That just all.
Did he do it? Died. Too many D's. Too many D's.
Yeah. There's no evidence of foul play in relation to his death. In the video prior to his death, though Uncle Ron suggested that Jay-Z and Diddy conspired in some way to kill Biggie Smalls, who is supposed to be one of Biggie's Diddy's closest friends, Jay-Z and Diddy wanted Biggie killed. Bottom line, here's a man, Biggie, that wanted to leave Bad Boy Records. He wanted to go and do his own thing. He mentioned several times that he is tired of being used and abused and that he's bigger than Bad Boy himself, Uncle Ron said in a video. Jay-Z wanted him out of the industry, period. He continued, it's all business, folks. It's unclear whether or not this video features any other inside knowledge or it's more based in Uncle Ron's own speculation. But many are drawing a connection between this video and his death, suggesting that he was killed because he was beginning to open his mouth and implicate other people. Let's have a listen. If my internet will actually allow
Do you want me to do it? Can you send me?
Yeah, we might have to. We might have to. I'll put it in the.
I can't believe I'm saying.
Actually, I think Maggie sent this. Actually.
Yeah, I would want to see that because this guy was just putting stuff out about Jay-Z and everything, and then all of a sudden he dies. That's
pneumonia,
scary.
Pneumonia, and then
Right.
arsenic.
Big homie CC and everybody was talking about that. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Big Homie was
serial killer is on the loose.
Yeah, big homie. He was working security at like nightclub parties, not private event parties, if that makes sense. And he ended up with pneumonia 3 times.
Right.
It's a new documentary. It's a new documentary.
Now, arsenic, once it's dissolved into the system, kills you through pneumonia.
Right.
And arsenic can be taken orally, it can be taken through the skin. And, you know, allegedly, one of the circulating stories about Mr. Jamie Foxx, right, is, and again, allegedly, he was given a present, which was a watch that he put on, allegedly, possibly. I could have just been stuff that's made up on the internet, but yeah, cyanide flu. There you go. Just a cheeky bit of the old.
Did you hear Misha also? I saw Misha in the interview, and she said, "Remember that tape of Cassie running out of the hotel with a duffel bag?" Misha said that she was taking Diddy's money, and this is why he chased her down. That she had a lot of money in that duffel bag. That people didn't know that, you know, and this is why he went after her.
Yeah.
Interesting. She was trying to make a break for it.
Yeah, she with his money, like he, like
you're right.
serious. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not being funny.
You know, this is why he went after her, because they were in the middle of a freak off, and she just had enough, and she just grabbed the duffel bag and ran with it. This is why he went after her.
Yeah,
Because
cyanide. Cyanide. What did I say? What did I say? I'm pretty sure I said cyanide. Yeah, I said cyanide, right?
Because isn't it true that he has everything in his mom's name, Mike? This is why he says he has no money, because everything is in his mom's name.
Yeah, well, a lot of people do that. All kinds of businesses or whatever is in other people's names or whatever, but it's tied back to him, and everybody knows it. Even the courts know that. So that's even like everybody signed a paper to go to the white parties and everything. That's just to make you think that you're covering yourself. But when the courts and when the feds and the Homeland Security type people are involved, none of that stuff matter. They're gonna say you did it, your grand jury, whatever. That's why I am so hard. I am so stuck on this whole case. I'm quitting a job because of this case, dude. I'm quitting the job. I do IT work. People
But it's also
got to
terrible.
be in this job. Go ahead.
It's terrible, you know, like, and like you said, you're talking about the music industry, how they kept quiet, but we're talking about actors, Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, like even, I mean, serious.
That's what the lady
people,
said. They act for a living. This is an act to them. What's that other lady? I don't know that lady name. And she played it was a movie called Ghost, and the guy died.
Demi Moore.
Yeah. I cannot believe that. See, these sick people want to cover up their sick lives all over the world. Think of the sick people doing things against what us normal people say is bad, but they want to do this. But they got millions and millions of money, so they mind tells them, I need to get this money so I can keep these people quiet, so I can live my nasty, ugly fantasies. And now their goal is to switch people from their nasty, ugly fantasy with the money so they can keep doing it and switch more and more people over. If you don't say nothing, I can make you a millionaire, but you got to give your body up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your soul.
Yeah, that's your soul, your body, whatever.
breaking down the humanity. People often talk about people's
Well,
humanity being gone.
And I have said that about a year ago, before this puffy stuff came up. I said, everybody, I keep saying it, everybody has a number. Everybody has a number. What is your number? I don't want to have no sex with no man. But if you give me $2 trillion, I may have to I may have to do it. You know why? Because I want to help people.
Oh my
So I might
God.
make that sacrifice to help people. If I had $2 trillion, I would help everybody that's in pain.
You're expensive.
Yeah, trillion's
Yeah,
quite a lot, mate.
You don't even go for
I got, Mike. I'm telling you now. I bet I could get you down. I bet I could get you down from trillion. I bet by the time you sign that contract, we're in the billions, Mike. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now.
I said $2 trillion though, so you can get me down to $1 trillion.
Oh my God. You're expensive. Good for you. But can you imagine?
Oh wow, that's
Cat Williams, who
deep.
said that he got out for $50,000 to give his butt up, and he says
50
like
million.
for 50K, and also Dave Chappelle or something like that.
Yeah,
and
it was
Chappelle
50 million. 50 million.
Thank you so much.
But
Cat
what about
William is
Kevin
not
Hart?
cheap.
Right,
Wow,
but what about
there's
Kevin
no
Hart?
money for me.
When Kevin Hart was climbing, and this is what people fail to realize, when he was climbing, he said, I'm not putting on no dress. You know, some things you just got to keep your dignity, right? Kevin said that. He said that in plenty of interviews. And then all of a sudden he's on Saturday Night Live. That was the weakest. The dress thing seemed like it didn't even fit this goofy
What do you mean he was
humor
doing
part.
dressed up as a woman in Saturday Night Live?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
Yes.
lot of
Where?
conspiracies
When? I
surrounding.
didn't see that one. When was that?
And the
There's
thing
a
that
lot of
tripped me out
conspiracy-
was
there's a conspiracy around the Illuminati, Paula, where black actors, especially, in order to gain their first foot in the door, they have to dress up as a woman. They have to put on a dress. They have to perform, and it's crazy. It's one of those things that it's like when you hear about the Mandela effect, and then you Google it, and then you're like, whoa. When you Google humiliation ritual, black actors, Illuminati dressing like women, you will see it's wild. It's wild. It really is. So sorry, Mike, for interrupting.
Anita on the chat is right. She's saying the white one too. Like Tom Hanks also had to dress as a woman.
Yeah.
But with black men, it's like there is no exception, and the one who are the exception, their career always like come to a certain point and it stops.
But
Like
why?
Cat Williams.
Don't know.
Why?
Listen. It's
Ask
one of
the
those weird.
Illuminati.
Yeah, it's one of
I
those
don't
and
know.
David
What does it
Chappelle.
have to do
David
with dressing
Chappelle.
as a woman? Why would they need to do that? I don't
It's-
get it.
it's-
What's
Because it's a symbol. Because it's a symbol to let other people know that if you want to have men, it's a lot of undercover men that want to have sex with other men. Now, I don't know. Me personally, I want to have sex with women only. But I don't want to have sex with every daggone woman in the world. Some of them I'm not attracted to.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So he said, I'm with you. So my point is, I don't know what makes a man attracted to another man. I can't get that. But this man had a dress on. So if you got millions and millions of dollars, you can have sex with him if you want.
It's the same.
That's
it's
what the
same
dress
thing
means.
It's the same thing that makes you attracted to a woman. It's when you look at
Allegedly.
when you look at the person, the orientation you're attracted to, it's just a bunch of mad chemicals in your brain, really, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? It's one of them.
Right. Okay.
You know, when we break it down, but it's not even about orientation or what way you swing, whatever way it is, Mike. It's all about money and control. They don't want there's no fun in going to a gay guy and saying, hey, do you want to have some, GAYSAX with me? Because the chances are they're just going to be like, yeah, all right, yeah, no problem. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're into.
There's no fun
When
in
it
that.
comes
Yeah.
when it comes to paying you, Mike, right, to do things you'd never do, right? Not only do you feel humiliated, but now you feel like you're owned because they've got you on film. They've got you on film. But what happens, Mike, when you find out that the person that you did that with was actually 15, but they look 19?
I don't know.
And they paid me?
No, I'm talking in the DIDDYS sphere. I'm not
Right.
Yeah,
But that's my point I'm making with the what the $2 trillion or whatever crazy amount I said. If it's a very, very big, large amount of money,
No, I
I
get
don't.
your analogy. No
Yeah,
one actually
yeah.
thinks.
My
No one actually
it's
gets
just
you want to say
That
it.
is
It's
my
just, no one
price.
thinks that you were sales pitching any demonic entities to come and like to
exactly.
sign a check. It was an analogy. I get what you're saying. Everyone has a price.
Right,
I get what you were saying.
right. But if you're gonna film me, I would help you promote the film. I don't give a
You-
daggone.
Oh yeah, listen. If all we're talking about here is one time of male on male loving, and it's for 2 trillion, and we've got to
Right.
record it. Oh yeah, that's definitely. There's going to be some production value. There's going to be some drone shots, some
Right.
pans. You know, we'll get the
Exactly.
guys, and you know what else? We'll get the symphony orchestra that done Star Wars to come and
long as you let
live
me
do all
produce
the
it.
music. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just want to
That's what
produce
I'm
it.
talking
Produced by Mike Cross also. That's
That's
all I
what I'm
want to
talking
do.
about. That's what I'm talking about.
But
Wow.
I draw the line. I personally draw the line, period, when it come to minors, when it come to kids.
Of course. I don't think you need to
if-
say that, Mike. I think everyone kind of knows, right?
Right,
we
right.
can
Everybody
trouble
knows.
the kids,
But-
right?
right.
But what if
But-
it's a trap, Mike? Here's the thing. What if it's a trap? What if you're Mike the rapper, right? And
Mhm.
P. Diddy comes to you and is like, hey, I'll give you $10 million and a record deal if you let me and watch you getting and you don't know it's being recorded, right? You do it all, but then they turn around and go, well, actually, Mike, that was a 15-year-old that you thought was a 19-year-old, and we filmed it, and now you're going to come and you're going to let whatever we say happen to you, or we're going to destroy you. That's where the power comes in. That's where the allure
Exactly.
I go
is.
to the police. I go to the police
Exactly.
immediately, and I turn myself in. And I would have said, you know what?
But
I
you-
did
this
this
is
for
the
this
thing,
amount of
though.
money, and they tricked me.
Me too.
No, if you come clean, you take the power away from them.
No. What happens is you go into the police station, right?
Mhm.
And the report is filed, and then all of a sudden you're waiting in a room, and then one of the alleged paid policemen comes in and gives you a cup of coffee, and then you die of pneumonia.
Exactly.
I'm just saying,
Right.
allegedly, maybe.
Right.
Allegedly.
And that's what
Um,
happened to Uncle Ron. Is that what you're saying?
I
That's
was
what
gonna
kinda
do it.
happened.
Mike, you said he was saying things about Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Uncle Ron was saying some things about Jay-Z, man. I gotta look that up. It's too much
It was
drama.
he was talking about he just started talking about Diddy and Biggie and Jay-Z and the murder of Biggie and things like this. And I think the video that wouldn't play because of my internet. Right, hang on, let me just see if we can go
Right.
back.
His video. So Uncle Ron was putting out videos on social media, right? Is that what you're saying, Ron?
Yeah, hang on a second. Weirdly, it's just cut to a short from the Sean Atwood
So
channel.
I was watching some of his videos. So that's my question. My question is, how long ago did he pass away? When did he die? Uncle Ron.
Hang on a
I
second.
think September, I
So, yeah.
think, or something like
It
that.
was something like that. It did
Yes,
say- yeah, he
Queenie.
died
Yes,
in
Queenie.
September. In September, yeah.
Damn,
Yeah,
so that
September
means
2024.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I've got this video playing now. My internet. I put the hamster back on the wheel. So let's just. So we do this, and then we.
Facts. Here's a man that wanted to leave Bad Boy. He wanted to do his own thing. He mentioned several times how he was tired of being used and abused, that he
when
was
this
bigger
recorded?
than Bad Boy itself. Somebody, and we ain't gonna call no more names, dangled a bogus contract in front of his face
Right. Okay.
so he wouldn't leave the company. How I know I was there. Another thing, Jay-Z wanted him out of the industry, period, so he could take over and be the biggest hip-hop artist around. And I wonder who's the biggest hip-hop artist today. It's all business, folks. And unfortunately, you as a fan, most of you won't understand, but it was all about the business. And the two billionaires have done what they seeded to do.
So he's blaming Jay-Z that Jay-Z took out Diddy because he wanted to be the biggest. I don't put it past. I can. He's so ugly.
Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie was one.
He
There you
took
go.
out Biggie, not Dizzy.
Yeah, no.
No, I understood that
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, he was talking about Jay-Z, that Jay-Z wanted
Yeah.
Big Diddy out because he wanted to be the biggest one left in the industry. And at the
Yeah,
moment, it is
Biggie wanted to leave Bad Boy, right, to go out on his
Exactly.
own, and I think everyone would probably be in agreement that it would have been huge for Biggie to break out on his own.
Tupac.
Yeah,
Same for
exactly.
Tupac as well. Same for Tupac as well.
Tupac is
Uh,
awesome.
Mhm.
Plus,
I
as
like
well,
Tupac.
with the mindset of Tupac, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
put it past him for there to have been some under the table project to unite all of the best rappers into one place and you know all of that. I don't know. I mean, I'm just a fanboy of
It
Tupac.
it is kind of creepy because there is a lot of rumor. That's what Jaguar is going to say, so I'm going to say allegedly also, but there's a lot of rumor that they took out Aaliyah so that Beyonce could take her place, and now they're saying that
Yeah, Aaliyah,
they
yeah.
they took off they took off Biggie, like Jay-Z and Diddy wanted Biggie out for different reason, and so Jay-Z wanted his place. It's like, was it a repeat? So it's kind of creepy that now.
Hang on a second, Piru, what we wrong about? Let us know, mate. Let us know what we're
Okay,
wrong
so
about.
can you please let us know, like, keep us informed. But Mike,
Can I ask Mike a question?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Queenie, Queenie's got a question for you, Mike.
oh, Queenie's
Yes.
here.
Mike, do you rate Jay-Z as a rapper?
Yes.
It's a good
You
Jay-Z
say
is
he's the biggest rapper around right now. Do you?
not the biggest, but yeah, he's up there. My top 5 or whatever. Jay-Z has
Oh,
ultimate
really?
ultimate
Oh,
skills.
I don't
Yeah.
like Jay-Z as a
Oh,
rapper.
yeah.
I don't
Where would
like-
you put
No.
Nas?
Nas too. Nas is part of my top 5.
Little Nas?
Not no Nas. We talking about Nas. We talking about
We rebuke that name.
Oh,
we
Paula,
talking about
listen,
rappers.
we give Paula 4 points out of 10 for trying to get involved. Okay, 4
No,
points out of 10 for just trying to get involved. Okay,
all these rappers. There's so many new ones.
Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas.
Jay-Z's
And
nowhere in my top 10, even 5. Never.
Eminem.
Why?
Jay-Z,
Why?
those people, they suck other people's energy. If you were, the thing
I'm
is,
talking about
for
talent.
me,
I'm talking about talent.
competition always make you stronger and better. So if you thought that you were the best, you wanna keep the other best person or who you think is the other one who could rival you, so you could get better at your game. Jay-Z's a weak punk, in my opinion.
Yeah, he
Right.
copies.
I agree with you on that. I think he is a weak punk, but there's a lot of weak punks that can rap their tail off, and he's one
What
of
do
them.
you-
How about
Jay-Z
Eminem?
to me
50
now.
Cent, Dr.
I
So
Dre?
you
don't
asking
rate
me,
Jay-Z.
do I
I'm
like
not gonna
him or
lie.
do I like his talent? As a producer, the boy can spit, he can rap, period. Hands down. That's just like in
I
UK.
don't.
Eminem?
Eminem is a lyrical genius.
Yeah.
But see, you're looking at, and don't get me wrong, I agree with you. You're looking at all the stuff he did and all the stuff that he probably Tupac.
No, I'm not even looking at anything like that. What he
I can't stand
done. I'm
Tupac.
just saying from
You can't.
I
producing.
can't
Yeah,
stand
you can
right. I
give it
can't
to
stand
him.
Tupac.
But when
the
it comes on
person.
to like the lyrical thing, I don't think he's got it like that. That's just me.
Right,
Why did
because
you
you
like
don't
Tupac?
understand lyrics. That's why. If you, it's like poetry.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God!
it's
Stop
poetry.
that! Don't
If you
say
sit,
that.
if you right, if you sitting here saying that Jay-Z don't have no lyrics, then who has lyrics to you? Tell
No,
me
to
who has
the
lyrics.
point where people is putting him on that pedestal. That's the part that I don't
I think the pedestal. Yeah, the
understand.
pedestal is the part I don't understand either. With
Yeah,
Jay-Z.
the
I think that Jay-Z is average,
listen,
but he's got a power position and he uses other people's
remember
lyrics
that
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
most of
have
these
to
people
agree
who are
with the
in the rap
producer.
game,
Whoa.
they've got Jamaican in them. So and I know lyrical genius when I hear them. And
Yeah, I'm just
Jay-Z
gonna I'm
ain't
gonna I'm
that
gonna
one.
agree with the
Just like
producer who
Tupac.
came from the music
Tupac is
industry.
a lyrical genius.
Yeah,
But I
Tupac.
couldn't stand Tupac
Definitely
spitting on cameramen. These are
Really?
men just trying to do their job, and you spitting on them. Shame on you,
Yeah.
Tupac. You have said you done had sex with your best friend's wife, Faith Evans. I had did a lot of things with Faith Evans. Shame on you for even thinking of doing something like that. That's supposed to be your friend. I don't
You put it in
care.
a song, man. You put it in a
I
song.
love that what you
You
thought, man.
Right.
monetized that whole situation. I mean,
Right.
that was something else. I mean,
You
it
are a
was.
terrible person, but for saying that and doing that. But you got talent when it comes down to that pen and paper and writing them words and making
Yeah.
a song.
Yeah,
And
I'll be
Jay-Z
honest.
does also. The people have spoken. The people
Yeah,
have
I mean,
spoken on Jay-Z.
I mean, 3 billion
I
net
agree.
worth.
I agree.
I
But
don't think it's the people. It's the other things that are spoken. The other backdoor deals has spoken. These people ain't
Well, what
been
about
making
Puffy then?
this
Well, what
kind of
about
money
Puffy?
in
The people
music
spoken on
anymore.
him.
They
He got a
don't.
lot of backdoor.
They don't.
What about
no, I agree
Puffy?
with Mike.
Now,
I agree.
listen. I actually agree with Queenie here, right? I don't understand why certain people are at the level of fame they are, and I'll tell you now, 3 billion net worth gives you a lot of power, right? But I also don't really listen to a lot of Jay-Z. The stuff that I have heard, I'm not super impressed with. But I'm happy to take Mike's professional opinion on song structure and flow and actual talent. But I don't understand because I don't think I
How about
believe that
Kanye?
he's
How
that
about
talented.
Kanye
Yeah.
West? How about
I
Kanye
really like Jay-Z also, and I know that he was really big, especially when I was younger and I was a teenager. Like he was rap back in those moments.
It
Mike,
took him.
Here you go.
do
Here's a better way of putting it. Jay-Z and Puffy
It
made good
it took
music
me.
as
It took
rappers.
me
No,
a
yeah.
little while to come up because I'm not
Exactly. That's the
I'm not a
point. They're
big
producers.
I'm not a big fan of Jay-Z because of all this stuff. I'm not a big fan of Puffy
Exactly.
because of all this stuff. But that song, Can I Hit It in the Morning Without Giving You Half of My Dough? And even worse, if I was broke, would you want me if I wasn't the come on, man? That boy is spitting on that thing.
So you think that one song should make him a billionaire? Come on now.
Yeah, you're
Listen.
right. You're
It's
right.
like J-Lo.
You're right.
J-Lo doesn't
You're
sing and
right.
I'm not,
spinning.
you know
Jay-Z,
what?
I'm
That's
not
your
saying
opinion,
that
and I'm not
Jay-Z is
gonna
a
fight you
one-hit
down on
wonder.
your opinion, but I'm
Right.
sticking to mine.
I'm not saying that
All right,
Jay-Z is a
listen.
one-hit
We're
wonder.
we're
That's
gonna
just
we're gonna
one
turn
hit
a
that
corner.
I finally came up with. That's just one hit that I finally came up with. Jay-Z is a multi-hit wonder. The people has spoken on that.
But I don't know any of his songs. If you were to make me sing, like I can tell Eminem, I can tell 50 Cent, I can tell Kanye. I immediately or Dr. Dre or
Um,
Maybe
bounce
that's
with me,
just
bounce with me.
maybe that's
The
just
bounce with me, bounce. What about Jay-Z?
Exactly.
yeah.
He was always on BT.
Brush your
Big,
Let's not.
shoulders,
big
brush
pain,
your shoulders off,
pain,
brush your
big
shoulders
pain,
off.
pain, whatever.
All
It's
right.
like
That's
What
J-Lo.
you
right.
I don't
say,
know how
Queenie?
J-Lo became famous. I don't know how
But
J-Lo
I
became
respect
famous.
your opinion, though. I definitely, I
Oh,
respect your opinion. What's her name again? I'm
that's
sorry,
Queenie.
Queenie. I respect your, and I love that. You know why I love that? Because I like to hear other people perspective on like somebody
Let me
that's
see.
like
New
way.
York. Okay, the New York song. Yeah. Okay.
It's almost like Michael Jackson and the way
Oh, Michael
Michael Jackson moves, and somebody saying, I don't like Michael Jackson. He is terrible. I don't know why everybody's making a big fuss over Michael Jackson because he was music. And that's a big Michael Jackson is way big compared to the Jay-Z thing. But Jay-Z, Ron, and Queenie, that man got talent.
Yeah,
As a
trust me,
producer,
Ron.
that
Let
man
me
got
tell you,
talent.
if you wanna,
No. Ron's moving on. Ron has zero.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying you something.
Literally
Yeah.
zero investment in any of this madness.
I
about-
wanted to ask you, Mike, something about because I heard some nasty things about Alicia Keys and Diddy.
Yeah, please do. Yeah,
I
Queenie,
heard about
sing
some
it.
nasty rumors about Alicia Keys and Diddy. Because I was a big fan of hers, and she also sang that song with Jay-Z, New York, right? But the main singer, he just like kind of producing his. I don't know if he's even part of it, but I heard that she's pretty nasty, or that she sold herself to the devil for that, along with Rihanna.
Can y'all hear this music that I'm working on? No? Can y'all hear this? Okay, good. Okay, I'm finished now. It's funny, man, because my aunt was best friends with her mother, and they used to do a lot of things together. And I was trying to get her, Alicia Keys, I'm trying to get her to see my music and all this type of stuff. So, but I'm sorry, what was your question? You said,
I heard that she had shady stuff with Diddy and Jay-Z, that she was part of their little cabal along with
yeah,
Rihanna.
all of them, all of them. That's why everybody is afraid of these tapes. All of them is like, if you want it, for lack of a better word, I sold my soul to get into this music business. You gotta sell, you gotta be a part of our clique. You gotta prove that you're a part of our clique by doing this, whatever this is. They know they did it.
Initiation ritual that the gangs do, isn't it?
Did y'all hear that the girl was saying that Bill Cosby put a cigar out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to circle back to my topics. I've got a lot of things I need to get through in the show, guys.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. And
what I'm jumping into now is there's a video from 2 months ago, and it goes into smuggling tunnels. And the next topic that I really want to touch on is the realities across the board, regardless of your budget. Okay, so if you're a regular person, psychopath, what are the likelihoods of you being able to construct secret tunnels and use them within your property, right the way up to organized criminals, and of course the Diddy case and sort of horrible ritualistic things that can take place in deep dark places. And we're going to watch a little bit of this video, or this where it starts with this guy here. Now, discovering hidden smuggler tunnels into buildings, border security. So let's just dive into this and let's get sort of rolling on this subject.
Yeah, I want to check this out.
Right here, and the rest are either some rudimentary tunnels going under the fence back in.
Ron,
like the
Paula put her reason on the chat. Can you put her tweet in the chat?
So that's what I was going to mention as well. So for some reason,
1993. In San Diego, we're up to 72. 33 of those are sophisticated tunnels, like the one behind me right here. And the rest are either some rudimentary tunnels going under the fence back in the 90s, or a lot of them are just simply exploiting storm drains, stuff that we have to physically patrol on a routine basis.
So one of the key things that Mike, is it Mike? I can't maybe hearing people in the background, but that's okay. So one thing that we need to pay attention to is the utilization of pre-existing or disused government structures or structures that are already in place, because this is going to be a key factor, especially when we're looking for pre-existing pathways underground and all the rest of it. Now, I've watched a few documentaries about homeless individuals who've lived in what look to me like tunnels or bridges that you would take your car under, but they're seemingly for floods or storms, and people die in these. And the tunnels that I'm talking about, they look huge compared to what something that would be used for sewage or water that is being flown from place to place. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about these tunnels and pre-existing structures.
To keep that mitigated as well. So it's a lot of little things in there, not as flashy as some of the stuff behind me would be, but the biggest issue right now is actually finding these tunnels. It's not the mapping, it's not the grunt work per se in there, it's actually getting enough information and intelligence and data to actually determine where these tunnels are actually crossing the border at. That is where we need the biggest infusion of support and funding to come through. The two primary concerns we always deal with is the physical and the atmospheric conditions. So we have to mitigate both of those in there before we even consider going in.
Okay, so we just seen one side of the argument, the pre-existing structures. It looked, it didn't look too bad, right? It was a nice big concrete tube. Looked like you could crawl through it. Looked a bit dusty, a bit manky. But as we move through this, as you're going to see, conditions worsen. And just keep in mind that if we're talking about smuggler tunnels, if we're talking about whether it's
where are those tunnels?
San Diego, I think it was. Yeah, San Diego.
Are they close to someone's that we know, like Diddy or something?
No. So, hang on. You've derailed me again. Hang on. So
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so whether or not we're talking about people being moved
Yeah.
from point A to point B against
Yeah.
their will, or whether we're
Yeah.
talking about individuals who are handed packages and told them to take them from point A to point B, whether it's substances or money, we're going to see the increased risk and sort of traumatic endurement that can take place from a criminal moving people from point A to point B point of view. We're going to get to the psychopaths, the basements, the DIDDYs, the ritualistic, demonic, all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to start from the organized,
the beginning.
Well, the sort of organized crime factor, just to because it's obviously easier to utilize, right? It's obviously easier to utilize pre-existing structures than it is to dig out your own system. So
absolutely.
Side this thing, and once they're fully mitigated, then we can actually go in and make further assessments.
We ain't cowboys. We know what we're doing.
When we go into one of these structures and we consider it, it's something that's normal day at the office, essentially. But the first time you've actually ever been in one of these things in there, the first thing that's going to get you is the smell. 100% humidity. And about 90 degrees. So that's the first thing that hits you is the temperature and the humidity on top of that. You instantly.
All right, so I'm gonna let them continue playing with without sound. We're gonna see these guys going through. Now, obviously, there's many dynamics to the DIDDYS and the charges. Okay, one of them is the human transportation site and the forced and the unwilling participation in SEX work, right? So when we spoke earlier in this case about the member of Diddy's team who just so happened to own a chunk of land right up against the US border, and we talk about the RICO charges and the evidence that could be against Diddy that the feds have. I mean, I think the freak offs are a big part of this, and we're focusing on it because we've fallen into that mind trap of staring at the Hollywood factor. Okay. I think a lot of what we may be learning about as this case goes on is the evidence that they have regarding the transportation. Oh my God, it's about knocked a massive thing over, but I caught it. Is the evidence with regards to how his operations run. And for that to happen in a RICO case, surely they're going to have evidence of all of this, how people are getting moved around, how substances allegedly and weapons are getting moved around. And I think this is going to be one side. If we see any sort of tunnels, this is going to be one side of what they look like. And this is certainly from the organized crime moving transportation side of it all. Now, it gets a bit weirder, right? Because on Twitter, and you just need to give me a second because there's about 900 tabs open. Okay, here we go. So near the US-Mexican border, special agents and ICE Homeland Security investigations are working alongside Mexican authorities have uncovered an elaborate underground tunnel concealed within a residence in California. The tunnel has no exit on the USA side of the border. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what is being smuggled here. Now, just look at these. Look at this. I mean, you're popping out in a pit. Okay, so when they say there's no exit on the US side, it's because you end up in this pit. This is the US side. It's wild, and throughout history, crazy, horrible, nasty people have carved out their will within their own homes. And here's one of the most famous cases in the UK, Fred West, the West case.
Yes.
I mean, the stuff that this man did and the horrors that took place underground are horrific. And by all means, the Wests were no Diddy's. Mike, you're muted, mate. Hang on.
This guy was in UK or something. Who's
yeah,
this
Mike,
guy?
this-
I'm missing something.
Yeah, he's a serial killer. It's just to
Yeah.
show that basically evil likes to build tunnel.
Yeah, people, dark places, dark dwellings is really the fact here, Mike.
Exactly,
Okay.
because those serial killer, they were hiding the bodies and they needed to have a place, so they went under their house.
Yeah, there's a lot of levels to this case involving the history of the two of them, how they met, the torture,
Exactly.
the dark sadistic things that they done.
And
But by all
They're
means,
serial killer.
but by all means, these
did
are
you say,
not
Mac?
they're man and wife. Yeah, they're husband and wife.
Yes.
But by all means, neither of these two are a Diddy. This isn't a multimillionaire at the center of Hollywood. This was a sick couple on a conquest to get what they wanted. Now, could you imagine?
But they
if
weren't
had
millionaires.
If they had
They wasn't
no, they were
rich.
normal people.
Okay.
So if they had a
Yeah, it's
budget of
easy to
900, if they had a budget
Yeah.
of 900 million, okay, I imagine we would have been seeing a more intricate set of tunnels. There would have been a lot more going on, possibly.
It's not that what is a tunnel? Because I could call that a cave, what he built, because it was under his house.
Yeah,
but
it's a set of tunnels and from his basement. Yeah. Now,
Mhm.
one other
So-
thing one other
So
thing
they
that's-
evil like to use tunnel, and when you look on the Diddy side, you think that there's probably a lot of tunnel under his house.
So there's been a lot of YouTubers, right, who are now posting content. Well, I wouldn't say YouTubers, but people who are finding passageways in their homes. They're buying new houses, and then they are, lifting up floorboards or whatever. And hidden passageways seem to be something that, up until a point in history, seem to be turning up in properties around the world. Whether it was in America with the you forgive me, I can't remember what it was called when they banned the alcohol and you had to move booze all around the place.
Moonshine.
But for us in the UK, we've got some of these really old buildings, and they all seem to have oddities that pop up from now and again. And I mean, here we are, we're looking at a secret passage into a entirely concealed tunnel system. Prohibition, thank you. Concealed tunnel system.
This is crazy. And think about it. Not to cut you off, Ron, but think about it. It's cheaper to just cover it up. Still, I mean, that's a lot of plugging you have to do to conceal it. Let's just cover it up. They would never look, because we ain't going to spend a lot of money to cover this up. That's crazy.
Well, that's it.
Man.
And who can forget?
Ali Carter kept saying tunnels. Everybody keeps talking about tunnels and tunnels, and here it is.
Yeah,
this is the
well, it keeps going. It keeps going. Who remembers this little chicken nugget of a story when the Hasidic Jews just started popping out of tunnels in New York? That story kind of disappeared from the press pretty rapid. And then we come to here. Look at this. This is literally them tearing down the wall. This is the police tearing down the walls in a synagogue, and all of these Hasidic gentlemen here trying to push back and stop them from doing it because of look at this. This is what has been uncovered behind this wall. And again, this isn't a Diddy. This isn't Diddy. This is a group of religious gentlemen, shall we say, who are at the center of this entire situation. I mean, I keep going to say conspiracy, but I mean, we all seen it, man. Look at this guy.
What in the world? Secret
anyway,
tunnels
like
in Brooklyn, New York.
They're all over the place. And so when we've seen organized crime tunnels. We've seen religious groups. We've seen this the case with the synagogue in Brooklyn. We've seen the alleged Diddy tunnels. We've heard testimonies from individuals like Ali Carter, and we're now just sort of getting into the realm of. I mean, look at this, bro. I mean, this is the tunnels. Look at all the earth that's been dug out here. Do you see what I mean? It's wild. So now we've got to ask ourselves, okay?
My bad. Cool.
If we assume that no one's really stupid enough.
I'm on Ron live with LeBron, but I want to.
Let's assume that no one's stupid enough to buy a house, and then the tunnels that are underneath it are the ones that are going to connect to the cartel-like scary transportation tunnels. Not your main house. You might have weird shell corporations that own properties that are in your name, blah, 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 whatever, right? But I don't feel like the tunnels under houses, like, let's just say, for example, DIDDYS, are going to be used for criminal enterprise. They're going to be used for personal means, okay? Personal means that could be, for example, like the Playboy Mansion houses when they were built, you know, just some crazy old gentleman wanting to be able to go to the parties without anyone seeing us. You can see a very chauvinistic but legitimate purpose for a luxury, like, oh, I live in the same neighborhood as the Playboy Mansion and I can afford one of the secret tunnels to the parties, okay? And I mean that from a consensual, non-psychopathic reason, okay? Like your reasons they're just purely fun and intent, like, you know what I'm saying? But when we start talking about ritualistic issues, when we start looking at what can take place underground, we had a group of gentlemen on the show this year who are they go into caves, and they go deep into caves, and they're incredible. It's incredible what they do, but it's terrifying to me because it's a freaking cave, mate, right? And they've found remnants of ritualistic ceremonies, very much demonic representation of things going on in certain areas. And we often hear about the occult using caves and holes in the ground and all of this, but not even that is really the same as having a tunnel. Caves and things are natural formations. They have a certain energy and life of their own, okay? And
right.
when we talk about a man-made tunnels and all this kind of stuff, if they're not glorified mega party basements that look like a commercial company has come in and fitted it all, they're going to look fairly gothic, right? I would imagine there's going to be a lot of piles of stone and cinder block or whatever. And the ritualistic things that are going to take place in a lot of these horrible places are something that is a prevalent description in a lot of survivor stories when they talk about seeing horrible things happening to young children that, you know, no longer exist. When they talk about the fear that is put into them, when they talk about the things they witness, and then the sudden sort of widespread within SRA victims with DID. And I talk about this quite a lot because I think it's an important factor when we talk about weaponizing the fragmentation of someone's mind, okay? Which is what I believe a lot of what happens. It's one of the essential parts of SRA.
Right.
And
Ali Carter was just talking about that also. The mind, it's a mind thing.
Yeah. It's also another form of control as well, Mike, because when Beverly talks about our DNA, right, and she talks about what can happen if certain parts of our so-called junk DNA get activated, and it sort of put me onto a thought process about the 1%, the cabal, all this kind of stuff, knowing that if certain parts of our DNA or our brain or who we are activated. Now, here's another way of looking at it. Instead of thinking activating junk DNA, think of hypnosis when you're on a holiday, right? And you know, you've got the hypnotist there. Hi guys, welcome to Shim Sham Holidays, and tonight we've got a hypnosis, and there's maybe 300 people in a room, and out of that 300, 5 or 10 of them are actually able to be hypnotized up on stage, right? I mean, genuinely, they are gone, they are in it. So if we look at that percentage of people that are so susceptible to being put under someone else's control just through voice and through coercion, we have to then apply that same mathematic can be spread across the planet, right? So a certain percentage of us are susceptible to verbal coercion to the point where you will think everything that you're holding is an onion, or whenever someone says the word chicken, you'll turn into a chicken, right? We've all seen it. We've all seen it. We've all seen it on shows or whatever. Now, it's a little bit different if it happens to a family member. You have a bit more belief. You're like, oh, did you not really remember anything? Well, no, all that kind of stuff. Now, what if that isn't so much science that we know of? What if they're sort of tapping in to a more receptive part of this junk DNA, right? Call it what you want, right? Through this verbal coercion. And then we sort of look at this mass worship of celebrity and this misunderstanding of these false celebrity deities. What if the 1% have just figured out two things? One, what to activate in our junk DNA or our brains to make us susceptible to their control. But not only that, what if they are able to convince these celebrities that they're going to obtain all they want through ritualistic and demonic things? But we're already dealing with billionaires. So truly, if you're going to be given anything that is obtained through finances or anything like that, it's going to come from the billionaire and not necessarily from whatever deity or horrific demonic force he's going to have you sell your soul to. He's the one that's reaping the benefits from you selling your soul, because he's the one that's brought you to the gate, and you're receiving your gifts from him, which is the contracts, the money, all of this stuff, right? So if we've got the 1% who are in control of the 99% of the world, we have to assume that they've figured out how to enslave and to sell us on a spiritual, whatever you want to refer to, spiritual, psychic, holy war level. And I just feel like there is something going on where remnants of junk DNA that are within us that are being brought forward allow us to be more vindictive. They take away our empathy, and they take away our ability to love. Drugs, chemical,
money,
yep,
and shame.
Well, here's another thing, Mike. What about chemical activation, Mike? What about chemical activation? So we talk about all the horrible things.
Right. I don't know about the chemical because
here's
unless I'm being drugged, I can't function on
I'm with you, Mike. Just let me finish my rant, mate. So when we then start looking at the chemical side of this, right? So we've heard about all the horrible stuff. We've heard about the R word things that get put in people's drinks and they can't remember anything. We've looked at more mad, serious stuff like MK Ultras and all this stuff, but people all around the world are having the same experiences on certain substances. One begins with, one of them is DMT, right? And people are having similar scenarios and similar experiences by activating parts of their brain that wouldn't necessarily be used. Now, we're looking at ritualistic activation. We're looking at scientific and the human world activating parts of the DNA, traumas, all this kind of stuff, right? But then when we start looking at a chemical introduction, we've all heard the negative side. But what about if this awakening is coming in the midst of commercial, almost a commercialization or social increased use of certain medicinal things, right? Because there's a lot to consider when hundreds of thousands of people are all experiencing the same experience but have no ties to each other. It was the same sort of equation that was thrown in the mix with the shadow people. How can people all around the world be having the same experiences? Science calls it night terrors or whatever. How can we all have the same experience when science says none of us have the same dreams and all this kind of stuff? It's impossible. And then we start going back to even further when we have unexplainable religious artifacts, whether it's the Norse tablets that are in Asia and America and all around Europe that exist from the same times, but these countries never knew of each other, and these cultures hadn't reached each other. But it gets, hang on a minute, these cultures hadn't reached each other, but it gets even weirder, right? Because we're starting to discover things on this planet, right? Like the big mad structure out in Turkey that was discovered in the early 90s. I can't remember what it's called. And they started digging it up. And then they stopped digging it up. And fast forward 15 years, and they've just built forests on top of the stuff that they were going to dig up. And they turned it into a tourist attraction. I can't remember what it's called. I'm very sorry. But when we start looking at history being hidden, right? And we start looking at the 1% who have control over everything, and we start looking at good versus evil, there is definitely something in the mix when it comes to individuals like Diddy, or when it comes to individuals who are coerced into the world of Diddy, that spells out this unknown factor to the regular man. And for me, that's my obsession right now, is to try and really go down this vibration and frequency road for answers, because for me, there is nothing that makes any of this make sense apart from when we start applying. We're talking. Sorry, let me rephrase that. When it comes to how many children are missing, Beverly Teppy, thank you, Nat. When it comes to, I forgot to mention, that was the main point of this rant. It's not necessarily all about the Diddy case. It's about the global situation with children vanishing, what they're being used for, where their bodies are, where all of this, where are the Haitian children, Hillary? All right,
dude, I'm tripping over these tunnels. I cannot believe there's so many of them, and they so long. How long are they?
Mate, there is, when you look at, I think somebody said there was 26 miles of tunnel under one part of California, but again, I have no facts to give you,
dude.
But
are people afraid that this tunnel might collapse while I'm in it? And I'm like halfway.
Dude, if you're unfortunate enough to work for the cartels, and your job is taking a package from point A to point B, there is nothing in that tunnel that is more terrifying than the cartels finding out that you failed, right? Or you saying no. I don't. You know, I almost feel like there's not much of a health and safety inspection for these poor smugglers, Mike. If you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, that's
I feel
funny.
like I feel like human resources would have a field day.
And this right here is more than enough to thank the Lord that I wasn't even born into having to actually put up with this. Imagine your mother and father is part of the cartels or whatever, sex trafficking or you into this some kind of way, not really into it, and you don't have a choice. We weren't even aware of it. So our choice is if we're gonna ride the bicycle or we're gonna get on a skateboard. These kids are trying to figure out. I saw a movie, man, when the guy sold his daughter for X amount of money and looked at the daughter and said, well, I gotta sell you so you gotta help feed the family.
Yeah, you seen a movie about that, Mike? I've spoken to people who've done that.
What? You've spoken to people that sold their kids?
I've spoken to parents who are only parents because they birthed children to share with other predators. Yeah. And the reason I've spoken to them is when I was doing my documentary research, Mike, and I was learning tactics to shut these people down. You learn real fast that if you want to learn about a lion or a predator, Mike, and you go to the zoo, you learn nothing. Okay. And the zoo in our world, it's prison. Okay. And whenever you see one of these people get caught, they're like, oh, remorse. Oh yeah, I'm going to be a better person. All this. That ain't how a freaking pred works. That's not how it works. So I
Right.
went around the dark web and posted on forums where these people talked and done their exchanges saying, "Hi, I'm Ron. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I would like to talk to you people." And I left a dark web email and I left an encrypted link for software that you can talk to people that's properly encrypted, right? So there's no way that they can find me. There's no way I can find them. And I would ask them. So, for example, when it came to those who were, they say that they were, kidnappers or people that were trying to grab kids. Speaking to them about how they put their operations together is how you learn how to stop these operations. It was, there was never any discussions about their fantasies or anything to do with the horrible stuff. It was all conversations about me wanting to find out the tactics they used for their specific corner of horror to use it against them. And that's effectively what I done with all of the knowledge that I gained from them. But Mike, I'm going to tell you now, I spoke to women who were just looking to get jobs as nursery workers, especially with non-verbal autistic children, so that they could torture these kids and they wouldn't be able to do it. And they perfected ways of causing pain without leaving marks on children. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah. Do you know how much money videos of poor little non-verbal kids being terrified and being filmed? It's wild, dude. And I'm telling you, do you know what's really messed up, Mike?
So wait a minute. They would get a job to hurt these little kids so they can film it, so they can make money selling it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%. So
these are the things I would have never thought that exist in the world.
Well, Mike, here's the thing. 90% of all of the PDF file cases we hear on the news, there's two kinds. There's crazy psychopath grab the child, and as usually then the child ends up not alive anymore. Or you've got some crazy guy who's been involved with a family member for years and years and years. Those are really the two main things. But one side of it you can really justify, like, oh, he's a psycho, he killed her, right? It was all about that. I can understand he's a broken, horrible, evil person, and my brain can accept it when there's more than just the abuse. When it goes on to murder, I think humans have a easier time dealing with that because their brain can make it about the murder and not what happened before it. But when we have the rate of survivors we do, it changes it. Now, the other side of the coin, when we have people who abuse within the family, or we have what's called the child LOVER PDF, right? Those are the ones, Mike, that believe that your 9-year-old or your 6-year-old can consent. And it's wonderful because everyone has a good time and everyone's consenting. And it's a beautiful thing, Mike. There was a company, Mike, a group called Pi in the UK, that in the 70s and 80s, they tried to lower the age of consent to 4. Okay? 4. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the party, Mike. It's horrific. 4. Okay. And this is the mindset that is trying to this is the movement that's trying to normalize and associate this with orientation, or the child lover movement of all this. But Mike, once you get away from that, once you're into the realm of, oh yeah, all that I get excited about is watching a child screaming in agony as someone's breaking their fingers. Like, we get into a whole new realm then. And I've done a documentary about that as well. And it's, I've got a documentary that we infiltrated a Facebook group. Okay. A Facebook group, no dark web, no crazy scariness, where all the mums hang out. And it was on the subject of what's called hard crush. Okay. So there is a saucy KINK where people like to see women, stepping on cakes or squishing, stuff between their toes. And then maybe it goes up to, well, actually, maybe I want to see somebody, in high heels standing on a rabbit, right? Until the rabbit pops. And then maybe we move into, other animals until the group that we found, it was toddlers. Okay. So you've got people putting a plank of wood across a little kid's body and then sitting on the plank and the kid's screaming. This was on Facebook, right? So trust me when I tell you the evil is so far past what we consider the worst point of this. All right. I mean, we're talking about people who willingly sold their kids. That's the evil monsters. I've talked to people who are in such a level of poverty in this world, Mike, that they thank God for the internet so that they only have to sell their kids on a camera now. Okay, because previously they had to take their daughters down for tourists. And now they can, they're like, oh, it's incredible. It's people just get to look at the kid now. No one has to touch them. Can you imagine that as an option that you're
point I'm
happy
making?
about?
These are the points I'm making. These are the points that I'm making that people don't understand, that we don't even think about this stuff because we can get this thing called a job at McDonald's.
Dude, it's not. Do you know what else it is, Mike?
And they mad because McDonald's ain't paying enough.
Yeah. And do you know what else the problem is, Mike? You can have a fun experiment. Next time you have a house party, Mike, get a whole bunch of strangers and play Who Wants to Talk About PDFs? No one. Just be that weird guy that goes up to someone and says, hey, so did you hear about the global cabal and all the PDFs and all the kids that go missing? They will shut that down usually within about 30 seconds. Not because they don't care, Mike. Not because they don't care, but because it's the same as when you put a hand over a flame, bro. It's like this. At some point, your brain is going to make you take your hand away because it's burning. And it's a safety feature, right? And it's the same with your brain when it comes on to this topic. Your brain wants to save you from it.
You know what? I am kind of experiencing that right now, Ron, because there has been times when I'm like, dude, am I freaking out a little bit because of this stuff?
Yeah.
Because I'm just reporting it. But in the book Think and Grow Rich, it tells you when you first get in, it can be anything. When you come around violence, you are afraid of it. Then you get accustomed to it. Then you get used to it. Then you start embracing it. Then you start, so I feel myself going through that.
Normalization, Mike. That's what it is. It's normalization.
I'm going through that, but I'm realizing that so many people are attracted to it because they in disbelief, so they keep watching it. They don't want to watch it. That's just like Howard Stern. When I'm studying how to do YouTube and how to become a millionaire or make money, what makes people do what they do? And Howard Stern was one of the #1 radio station personalities. You know who Howard Stern is, right, Ron?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And the most watched person, the people that said they listened to him, you know why they listened to him? Because they wanted to hear what he was going to say next.
Oh, dude, 100%. And
they didn't like him. The people who didn't like him said, I listened to him because I want to see what this stupid boy going to say next.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It was like a train wreck where no one dies. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a train wreck that we can all kind of stop and look at and go, well, train wreck bad, but everything's okay.
Right. Did you see the movie? And it's funny because
of course I've seen the movie, bro.
He kept calling his balls pig vomit. I was cracking up.
So there's a couple of interesting bits of lore. So just a quick one, just because we're getting sidetracked. So
okay, go ahead.
Did you ever see the video of the serial killer that supposedly phoned into the Howard Stern show?
Wow, nah.
I did a whole video on it. I'll get you a link. But listen,
please.
So when we're talking about the big picture, we're talking about the big fight and all the rest of it. YouTube used to have a big problem with companies infiltrating the platform under the guise of child modeling agencies, and that's kind of what pushed me into making content about keeping kids safe. Right, was seeing just how much smoke and mirrors was being used, and if you went back through it further enough, everything seemed to connect to social media, to Google-based or surface web website, to deep web, right, which is the more top end of of what isn't cached on Google, and then down to the dark web. And the dark web is where the real serious illegal stuff takes place. And Mike, when I say I've got an arch nemesis in this world, and Maggie as well, there's one website on that particular version of the internet, the DARK web, that the last time I checked in on them, they were close to about 6 million members, and they are all PDF files, companies around the world that take and create PDF file images and videos, parents, like it's an entire super community for this stuff.
And
And
so
the
you
team
said about 6 million people?
6 million members on the website. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
these are the small things that you guys just fly past, and we like. So you got 6 million people from around the world that are interested
6
in
million people,
sickness. With the
We're
PDF.
talking. The teams that I used to work with could get into my own country's servers. Our own government servers were easier to access than this website. So for every person that you've got fighting against this, the big homies and the people like myself who are doing the online stuff, for everyone who's a specialist in their field stopping it, there's somebody on the other team doing the same thing. They're putting in their time for free. They're making sure their
They
evil
probably got
servers
10 people compared to our one person. They got like 5 people that's working against.
Well, no,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, very likely. And I'll tell you something else. The pride that these people take in bringing in new people to their communities, the pride that, do you know what it's like? You know, if you're into fishing, Mike, and you go on Facebook for other dudes in your area who like fishing to talk about fishing, and you're like, I love fishing, right? My name's Mike. I love fishing. Here's my reel. Here's my lures. I love fishing. With that sort of gusto and that excitement, that's how these people communicate on their forums in the places where they think no one's looking. Okay, it's that. I have seen one group of PDFs arguing with another group of PDFs about which form of PDF is the best form of PDF.
Oh my God, that is not funny, but it's funny. You know what I mean? I'm not
It's
even gonna
not
crack
funny.
a smile. I was really like, what?
Crazy,
Wow,
bro.
that's crazy.
No, it's crazy because it's a level of crazy that you don't witness, because who talks like that? But when humans think no one else is looking, Mike, and you know this yourself, we've all said to one of our kids or a niece or nephew, hey, don't touch that, and you leave the room and you poke your head round and they're tiptoeing over to what they're not meant to be touching. Do
Got
you
my
see what I
nephew
mean?
plenty
So
of times with that.
the human condition is seen as real, the real human condition, when you think no one's looking. The decisions you make alone when no one else is around is the pure essence of man.
I got
mankind.
people on my team, real quick. I got people on my team is wanting me to take this video down because of something I said. But my beliefs are my beliefs. And the lady is saying no one should watch porn. They should take porn down. There should be no such thing as porn. Man, I told myself, well, shoot, I watch porn. I mean, I don't watch it every hour. I don't watch it every minute.
How about this, right? How about instead of putting all the blame, right, for, I'm assuming it's to save the children, right? We don't want kids watching.
I knew Maggie was going to crack up laughing on that one.
Yeah.
I said,
it's not about banning that to save if it's to do with kids. How about you put the blame on the parents?
I think he's just wanting to talk about boundaries, like the limits
but
of
But the thing about it is, I think we got bigger problems in this world than porn sites. I don't think nobody should watch porn and all. That's your opinion. But it's a lot of people that watch it. There's a lot of people that undercover watch it. I just so happen to say, well, hell, I mean, every now and then I like to watch the porn.
Listen, you're not alone, okay? I feel like I need to jump in solidarity for my bro here.
Right.
Even
but
Magic's
Now, here's the thing.
I'm pretty sure at some point we've all went on the internet and went boobs and dipped our toe in and seen some things, okay?
Right. Now, but
I can say that I have never went on the internet and Googled boobs.
I was paraphrasing. I was paraphrasing.
No, what she's saying is she don't watch porn, period. But a lot of women probably don't. But man, I would love me a woman that watch some porn with me. Oops, who said that? Who said that? Oops.
No, no. Sorry, it's 2024.
But anyway,
I'm not having this.
long as
Women
it's
are just as
adult,
bad. Don't listen to their crap, Mike. Women are just as bad. Women are just as bad, mate. I'm sorry. Have you seen those novels that they sell at the airport that women buy? And it's all like, oh, take off my bobkin and my jerkin and caress thy thigh. What's that, ladies? What's that? Watching you.
I've always said, not gonna lie, I've always said that like the 50 Shades of Grey or whatever are the porn of women.
No,
because
no, they're not.
Yeah.
Well, they are. They're for how. Yes. Okay. I'm getting your analogy. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, and get sent. Okay. No. I'm done. It was just to say that to agree with you.
Okay. So let me hit you with something, right? So I agree, right, when it comes to the bigger picture on the problem of people too young being exposed to things they shouldn't be exposed to, right? So parents, get ready for this one. This is going to blow your mind. The internet is not a safe place for your kids. Oh my God. Right? I don't know how else to put it to you. So if you're going to sit there and you're going to complain about what your kids have access to, then, you know, maybe spend 15 minutes and Google some stuff on how to keep your kids safe. Do you know what I'm saying? It's 2024. We're not dummies anymore, right? I'm sorry, we're past it all now. The sympathy vote for me is gone, right? So when we have incredibly violent scenarios, okay, that play out in a different format than a Hollywood movie would play out with violent scenarios, and those scenarios are often sex scenes or adult movies or whatever, and young minds can take things out of context, I think, yes, there is a problem with that. But sadly, very, very sadly, when we're talking about the adult industry, we're not talking about crimes that have been filmed, okay? Whether that, and I'm being completely honest with you, we're not talking about anything that's a crime, a coercion, a forced anything. We're talking about the adult industry. We're talking about, in fact, you know what? Let's just look at acting as a whole. There has been a lot of movies that have no sex in them that are very graphic and realistic regarding people's demise and murder. There is the same within the adult world, but because even if it's a fake crime or a consensual scene that's taking place within that industry, it's incredibly triggering because of how things are filmed to be as graphic and all the rest of it. So they're way more triggering for survivors of horrible scenarios like that than, say, a mainstream movie would be. I can see the multi-layered issues with violent content entering young minds. I can see a pushback from people who've been through horrible things when they see people profiting from fake horrible things. I can understand the dynamics of it all. Okay? I really, really can. But if you're taking away all the webs, if you take away all of the PORN from the internet, the next day, the main website on the internet will be bring back the PORN. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So if you're going to take away the PORN from the internet in the safety of children, I've got a few suggestions. Okay, cars. We're going to take away cars as well because children get hit by cars. Okay, and we're going to take away farts.
And they steal cars.
Yep, yeah. And we're taking away socks. Do you know that 8 children a year die putting their socks on? No more socks. Okay, so I get the analogy that we can put all of this together as one big problem, and when it's like take down the PORN, I get that because, yeah, I'm just saying I get the argument because a lot of people, they don't want to talk about the other side of it where it's not criminal stuff and it's not people that are being forced into it. And believe it or not, there are very convincing actors out there that do all of this for a living. But children being exposed to anything that you don't want them exposed to as parents is not the internet's it's not up to the internet to look after anyone's kids. It's up to parents. Obviously, we as a community, I'm not referring to us, we look after kids. I get what you're saying. That's not what I'm saying. But
I don't think that's what he meant, Ron, though. I think it was really about boundaries, that there's a difference between like people are judging PORN while there is actually real issue like the one you're talking about.
My point I was ready to make is the lady, I can't believe you said that. I'm unsubscribing. I'm like, Jesus, you're going to unsubscribe to my channel because it's one thing that we disagree with.
Yeah, I'm
You
with you. And
said
don't, yeah,
that no man, nobody should watch porn. And I'm saying, well, I watch porn. I mean, I don't watch it every hour and every minute. That's the joke. That's the joke. But you know what I'm saying?
no, I'm with you.
But the thing about it is, I handle my responsibilities. I give, I help people. I help people as much as I can. I donate. I
It
take
doesn't
care of
even
my
matter about,
mother.
yeah.
So
I
I'm
don't
a
even think you need
wrong
to go that
person.
far. I don't even think you need to go that far. I mean, you're talking, if we go back like hundreds of years, Mike, there's naked people painted on vases because people like looking at naked people, right? Did you see what I'm saying?
Because there's art to them.
It's not the same as being a monster. It's not just because somebody watches something mainstream in that genre, it doesn't mean that they've then got a secret folder on their computer called, horrible R-word movies or anything, you know?
Did you see the guy living right next door? This guy's, and the only reason why he's a musician, he was a bass player. He had 3 girls in his house for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Oprah had actually interviewed some of the girls and stuff. The guy killed himself in jail, and the next door neighbor could not believe that I used to barbecue with this guy. I used to do all this stuff with this guy, and come find out he had them 3 girls in his house the whole time. That's some sick mess right there.
Oh man, I mean, listen.
This guy actually walked around and helped the families look for the kids, and he right there with them looking for the kids.
Listen, Mike, there is cases where there was one case in particular, I forget the name of the case, and this girl was held for years and years in a basement, years and years and years and years. Literally the classic 6-year-old girl played on the street with her little brother, and then man grabs her, takes her to a basement, keeps her there for years, and then he's inevitably caught. But she then goes back and buys the house where this all took place, and now lives in the house and communicates with the guy in prison. And there's elements to
what
shaping young minds, Mike, shall we say? There's elements to shaping young minds that we all know about as parents.
When he took the kid, how old was the little kid?
I think she was 5 or 6. I think she was 5 or 6. Yeah.
And how long he had the 5 or 6-year-old for? 10 years?
I think the movie I seen was called, I think it was called something like 3,600 and odd days. So maybe it was like 8 or 9 years. But
this
yeah,
is based on a true story.
Oh yeah, it's a true story. Oh yeah, it's a true story. Yeah, man. So I can't remember, Roxy. I'll be better prepared, mate. I'm sorry.
In this case, the 3 girls that was in that house, when they took the stand, the bass player guy, I just call him the bass player, I don't even know his name. He tried to say while he was on the stand that we was a happy family. I really took care of them, and we was a happy family. And that lady stood up almost like, bullshit! You stole my life. And then the judge told him some order in the court. Fuck order. Excuse me, y'all. I would kirk off. I would kirk off.
Yeah, Natasha.
Order. He took 10 years of my life, and you can't get that back. Okay. All right, I'm done. What is this right here? Is that her?
As the door shut, I started to cry. I was alone, locked up in a bare room, somewhere underground, without my rucksack, without my sandwiches, without my mother. The situation was so frightening that I could have cracked right at the start of my captivity. But the human brain can perform miracles by tricking itself and drawing back to avoid capitulating when faced with certain situations.
Yeah, so this is the case here. Natashka Kampushk, living in the house where she was held captive for over 8 years. And the book and the movie is called 3,096 Days or something, I think it's called, which is how many days she was held captive. This is where she was held. And there's a movie about this, and it is wild. It's wild. But we often hear stories like this, and we're like, why? How could this? How could someone do this? How could somebody be in that mindset? And it's so easy to throw a statement out like that because it's back where we were before with the whole PDF topic. We don't want to think about what that poor girl went to get her to the point where she's so unable to detach from what happened to her that she has to live in the epicenter of her own trauma. And this is just me pulling stuff out my backside as a guy on the internet. I'm not an expert. I'm not judging. I'm just having a conversation here. But it fascinates me when we look at nurturing and the loving side of raising children as parents. And when we see the effects of the opposite side of love, when somebody's been raised in hate, we've seen that case of that poor girl that was strapped inside a chair for the first decade of her life. She was covered in her own, excrement and all this kind of stuff. She couldn't walk properly. I can't remember the name of that case either. I apologize. But when we see the effects of true evil manifesting in the adolescence and adulthood of these children that went through these things,
wow, dude,
it gets deep, man. It gets real deep.
Mr. Ron, I thought the Diddy and the Ali and the lady getting shot in the face, I'm glad I went through that before I met you, because you going way too deep for me. I can't stomach half the stuff you.
Yeah, well,
I'm
this
hungry.
is it. Apologies to the side chat as well. Ron, this is what Ron did on YouTube, bro. Ron made Snapchat had to apologize to the world. Snapchat brought out a filter. This is a 21-year-old female, right? And through the power of the Snapchat filter, this is what she looks like. Okay. And we done a whole video calling out Snapchat. It was picked up by, here's the former counselor for the children's charity NSPCC. Said the clip, which was uploaded by Surviving Life, which is me, shows how dangerous the technology can be. It made national press in the UK. It made national press in Australia. And it was a wild video, man. Then another case I worked on was social media for 6-year-olds, and how using development reviews can affect the actual reviews that you're seeing as a parent. And this app, it took me less than a day, less than an hour. I infiltrated this thing, and you can see the parental reviews once you actually get to the real reviews. It was all warning parents about the predator activity that was going on there, the fact that their daughters and their children had been contacted by these horrible people. And we done a video on it, and the next day they had to change their entire business format. They had to change their logo, their everything. And we don't mess around when it comes to this stuff. We really don't. And there's been a number of individuals, companies, creators, just morons that are trying to jump on clout trains. I had a woman pretend that when she was 14, she was assaulted by Jake Paul. I did a video all called Saving Jake Paul. And it was never really about Jake Paul. It was about the fact that somebody was using the normalization factor of being attracted to children as a trending topic. She normalized the MAP movement, normalized the AM movement, the minor attracted person, the adult attracted minor and minor attracted person movements. And the content she was putting out inspired discussion between young people about whether or not this should be something that is considered like an orientation and all the rest of it. We're talking about adults doing horrible things with young people, and none of this should ever be normalized, and none of this should ever be something that is used for any other reason apart from educating, exposing, and eradicating. And the normalization is something that people look past so often, and I ain't standing for it. So the normalization, the desensitization, I guess that's something that when we were discussing the previous case about that girl moving back to the epicenter of her trauma, not being able to detach, and the is it Stockholm syndrome? I'm sure that is like the layman's term of layman's terms for what is the true multitude of things that people are left with when it comes to kidnapping and trauma and all this kind of stuff. But I think for me, I've always been fascinated by the questions no one ever wants to ask, the follow-up questions, the deeper roots to things, because I've done a lot of work with talking to monsters on the dark web. I've also done a lot of time speaking to genuine serial killers who are in prison, school shooters that are in prison. You know, there's a that's all on the Phil Chalmers channel if anyone wants to check that out or check out the links on my homepage. But the people who on paper are no different than everyone else that's watching this, right, are the ones that fascinate me, right? The guys that go out and the end game people, but they've got no reason to be any different from you or I. What is it that drives one person to do something when there's no catalyst, there's no trauma, there's no basis for explanation? Because we find comfort in explanation, Mike and Maggie. We are relieved when we find out that that guy who went into a shopping mall or wherever and end-gamed a bunch of people, when we find out he was totally crazy, right? Because that's comforting to us. Okay, there was a reason. There was a reason behind it that I can understand that makes him different from me, and I don't have to then fear my neighbor. Wow. Do you see what I mean? And it's when you realize you're living next door.
Ron, you're talking about a feeling that most women feel, like you're surprised, you're shocked, like, oh, the next door, how they... I'm just like, yes, this is what I've dealt with since I've been 10 years old. So yes, it's interesting that you're shocked by that.
Well, yeah, but I think it's two different things.
I'm shocked by it too.
The creepy van who follows you, the neighbors who looks at you. That's what I was talking about. Not the first part. I'm talking about right now.
I didn't say any of that. And what I'm referring to, it doesn't just affect women, if that makes sense. And it's not. I'm not really. Maybe are you meaning it from like creepy, predatory? You're seen as an object sort of thing. Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing. 100%. Fully on board with that mindset, Maggie. 100%.
Where's Paula? Paula gone?
Oh yeah, Paula got struck. Paula's internet got struck by lightning again. So
I have to go, y'all. I have to go myself.
No problem. No problem.
God, Ron, I'm trying to make room for you. You are too much for me, man. I'm
sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I try and keep it light and breezy next time.
I'm like this, dude. I'm like this. But thank you so much for having me on. You taught me so much. And this beautiful.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Most definitely. Real quick, I'm letting you guys know that I'm planning on putting something together with Natanya, Jaguar Wright, and the other two girls. We're going to put together some songs and different things to see if they're interested in. We can produce our own music. They sing, they are artists. We could put it out to raise money for some of the victims and all this type of stuff and try to get Ali Carter. So that's what I'm working on now. So once my 2 weeks notice is up, I'm going to be full time into what I do. So y'all can hear me do what I do. And
we need some mic, like jam sessions, production sessions, like build a song with the community. Do you know what I mean? Like just have one little project where we all, I mean, it'll be a nightmare for you because you'll be doing it at like 1% the speed that you would normally work at because it's a side chat that will be guiding you. But I think that would be a great thing, man. I mean, it would drive you nuts, but I think it would be a great little project for sure. Oh no, never mind. You've got to go. I'm about to go.
All right. Yeah, most definitely. Hey, y'all take it easy. See y'all later, chat. Thank y'all so much. Love y'all.
Man. So,
and my name is Maggie. My name is Maggie the Black Owl, but you can call me Accent. Like that, you will remember who I am.
Yeah, Miss Accent. Maggie the Black Owl. I like that. Okay, guys.
So
bye. Peace out.
That's interesting. Let's dial in on what you were saying there, Maggie, because obviously, from a man's perspective, right? That's something that can often be overlooked, is how women feel on a daily basis, how there's a difference between if you're living alone compared to if I'm living alone. Not necessarily from all threats. There's definitely relatable things on both men and women's side, but let's just focus on what can often be overlooked by men. In fact, Maggie, before we start that, talk about something else that's totally meaningless and not really that important, because I need to go and just pay a visit to the lavatory. So talk about something awesome. Talk about yourself. Talk about your favorite books or movies. I'll be back in about 3 minutes. Otherwise, I'm gonna have an accident. Okay, we'll have an accident.
Perfect. So people, you can just ask question while we're at it. I'm just going to tell, I don't know if Jiggle is still here, so I'm just going to say thank you, Jiggle, for the super chat. We do not want to keep Meghan Markle. Okay, thank you so much. Did you hear, people? Did you hear that Liam Payne was locked in on his hotel? People didn't want, like the people of the hotel didn't want him to stay in the hotel like lobby, so they forced him to go in his bedroom. That's pretty crazy. Yes, I am. Je suis haïtienne. Why do you say that? Mike is going to need therapy. Mike is going to get used to the fact that the world is a really, really ugly place. Women are always afraid. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna say that women are always afraid. I do not know how you cannot be afraid all the time if you're a woman alone. Because if you're aware of just how men are built, then you don't know what could happen. I live alone, Squid. Thank you. But you're a man, if I can judge by the beard. Like me as a woman, I just gonna get security, Like it's not like we're totally helpless. We can find a way to protect ourselves. Kaza, you do not want me to sing. I sing like blech. Am I crazy? I'm not crazy. Or maybe I am. I don't know. Thank you so much. Yes, the Asian come from 80. So later, my parents are from 80. So my mom is Asian and my dad is half Dominican and half Asian. So, and when they immigrated, that's when they got married. Yes, the Liam Payne thing is the more I think about it, the more suspicious it is. Like, why is it that suddenly now we're learning that he was always terrified, he didn't want to go in his room, and the staff at the hotel now is considered at fault because they forced him in the room that he didn't want to be in? So that is weird. Tonya, I tried to be nice.
All right, we're back.
Hello, Ron.
Yeah. So, cheers for that, Maggie. So, just going back to what you were saying, because I think a lot of people, I mean, maybe some people don't, maybe some people do, but I think that's something that.
Okay, just to clarify to everyone, just to say one thing, I am single. When I get engaged or married in the chat, it's just a funny haha. Maggie is single.
She's got a weird relationship with her husband where she likes to shame him on the internet by saying that she's single. Okay, it's a weird power thing that she's got. No, but seriously, so your point was how women who they can sometimes feel objectified, or how people look at them, all the rest of it, isn't necessarily something that maybe the average person's put a lot of thought into. I'm sure they are if they're a woman, but just touch on that a little bit, because obviously I don't really give much thought to when I move somewhere who my neighbors are, unless it's some reprobate or whatever. But they tend to stand out, if that makes sense. But I've never really been one for worrying about people's glares or look. In fact, I probably wouldn't even notice, if I'm being honest. Like, I'll be honest with you, but that's not me taking away from what you're saying. It's just I'm interested to hear your dynamic and experience with being a woman.
Yeah, no, we can both be same size, but it's more that you can, it's more that it's more that sometimes you either feel like always an object, and then when you are anywhere, you know that the man is bigger than you most of the time, and
Okay.
you know that when they look at you, they see you as there's someone, or there is a ghost.
Oh, hang on. I just, did you hear that? Because I just about freaking crap myself. That was Queenie coming back into Discord. That was Queenie
Hello,
coming back into
Queenie.
Yeah,
Discord.
that's me.
Oh my
Oh my
God, Queenie.
God.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my God. Please say hi first.
Yeah, that
Oh my
was
God.
terrifying. We need to
I
figure
thought it
out a
was
new system. We need to figure out a
I
new
thought it was a
system.
ghost.
Right. Okay, good. So even the side chat's like, oh my God, I heard that. Queenie, welcome back. How are you?
Love you,
Almost.
Queenie.
I've been back ages.
Oh God.
What?
I'm so sorry.
I've been
You
back
left?
ages before Mike left
Oh,
and
damn.
everything, but it's all
You
good.
let me talk alone. I would have loved to talk to you.
Nah, I would let her talk
You
by
were
herself as well.
talking
Just
about
let her cook.
Leanne Payne.
Well, Queenie, here's not you're a whammon also, right? We were talking. Well, you were here. You must have heard it all, right? So, I was talking about something that I've already forgotten, and then Maggie was talking about how
About
that's how she
fearful.
about
Personally,
yeah.
maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's where you're from, but I'm not really fearful. I don't know.
Well,
Where are
it's
you
not about
from?
fearful. Wait. Let's take it away. I didn't really take from it that you were fearful of everything. I feel like it was about when you live somewhere, maybe a new place, you're by yourself, and it's how you're made to feel by people looking or what they say or
Yeah,
whatever.
I've never. Okay, Ron.
No, I
If
wasn't.
you guys close your ears and let me say this.
Okay, don't get us demonetized. Right? You don't. I mean, I'm serious. Don't get us demonetized. Use algorithmic.
No, you won't. When you're like,
I just want you to know I'm listening intently.
no, I'm not. I've never felt fearful, even where I live or anything. No.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the way I was built or the people who I was around or who I grew up
Yeah,
with.
okay.
No, I'm not. No.
Yeah, okay. Well,
No.
that's
I
right.
can't say what I want to say, but
Yeah, I
no.
don't know what you're trying to say, but it must be bad. If Queenie's not wanting to say it on the internet, it's going to be something.
No,
But no, I
I'm not
get. I'm not
fearful.
saying. I'm not saying that I'm completely unfamiliar with what women have to go through compared to men when it comes to nights out, holidays, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to lie. I've seen things happen with my own eyes that are they're very disappointing to witness. Okay, and I get it, and it must suck. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how else to put it. I try not to be I try not to be part of the problem when it comes to that stuff, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also like I don't like let's say in movies when they try to make like women all powerful, because it just teach women to count more on like natural strength when there's so many other technique possible to
in movies.
Oh yes. And then
Wait.
shows.
So when women are too powerful in movies,
Yes,
Making
you
sure.
put your keys like between your thing, like always, and you have
Oh man,
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Mhm.
Listen, I don't know. Totally makes sense now with what you're saying. So when they show women, you know, knocking out a 350-pound, 6'5" guy with his keys, not the Marvel universe where my brain went and instantly got confused. Okay, so yeah, I get what you're saying there. I mean, that's an interesting take. I will say this though, right? In fact, no, it doesn't, because what I'm about to say is a moot point. Like I was going to say, I've seen plenty of women, you know, knock people out and do crazy stuff on videos and all this kind of thing. But I think the majority of the time, I would say that, yeah, I think you're right. There
But
could be
with
this.
was it with their hand, or did they have another weapon? Because I saw like, let's say, I saw a person have a woman have a brick. Is that the name in English?
Yeah,
and come like that
brilliant
towards the
choice.
guy.
Yeah, brilliant choice, by the way.
Exactly. So, you know, now the fact that she's a woman doesn't count.
Yeah. The brick, the great equalizer. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why when I go to the shops, I've got a pet brick on a dog's leash that I drag behind me. Okay. No one wants to mess with the guy with the pet brick. Okay. Just keep that in mind, ladies. Next time you're thinking, how can I put a stop to this? A couple of bricks on leashes, mate. Where you off? So I'm just taking my bricks for a walk. I'm just saying. But no, it makes sense. And I mean, I've got friends who they have massive dogs, massive, big, scary looking doggos that are lovely, but they have that big, scary looking doggo because they live alone. And they don't live in bad areas. They don't, it's nothing society, but it gives them that sense of extra layer of safety. And I'll be honest with you, that's how I felt with Thor when Thor was alive, because if anyone is coming in to my property boundaries, he's going to hear it long before I do. And I have cats. There you go. Also, I would suggest if you're going to get a cat for security, make sure it's big enough that when you throw it at the intruder, it can actually do some damage. But they are good early warning systems. 100%. You just got to train your cat that when you throw it, it goes out with all four arms and legs out and the claws and just goes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Ron,
yeah,
Ron. Now that you need to create a meme with, instead of how to train your dragon, you put how to train your cats, and there's a picture of you.
I'm telling you now, the one thing I am never doing is going to the internet with anything that could remotely be seen as the abuse of a cat. Okay, because I do not need the internet. They
Don't
do
you
not
know how
need
to
the
train your?
internet.
Do you not know how to train your dragon?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, no, brain. No, we're not making that joke. We're not making that joke. We're better than that. So.
Oh my God! I can't with you.
What else we got to talk about up here? What is this subjects to talk about now?
But
so
yeah, Queenie, where do you live that you never felt that you could be, that men could be a threat?
I live in like where I'm living now or before.
I don't know, because when did you ever feel that, oh my
I've
God,
never lived
man?
anywhere where I've never lived anywhere where I felt afraid. Even when I lived back home in Jamaica, where like there's shooting going on and stuff going on. I don't know. It's just maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
Joy, I can't get behind your prayer is the greatest weapon. I'm just saying.
Absolutely
Right?
not.
I'm just
You
saying
cannot.
it's a great spiritual weapon, but you know, you tell me how well that works out for you if Putin gets a bit freaking red button happy and it's just like, and
You say that for that. My first image was like you see an essayer coming towards you and you start.
Yeah, I'm just no.
As if that would do something.
Oh. But yes, I get your point. But listen, all I'm saying, listen, you guys pray, you do your thing. Okay, I'm just saying, as a weapon, right? These are your words, not mine. As a weapon, I'm not sure. Right. In fact, I tell you what, Joy, we'll prove what we'll do. you and me will go paintballing, right? I'll have a paintball gun. You have the prayers, right? You have the prayers, and we'll see who walks away having the better time. No, I'm only busting your chops. But I get what you're saying. I get the spiritual thing behind you, and I get exactly what you're saying about praying, and I do fully understand you. I was just busting your chops about saying it was the
Queenie was talking, about Jamaica. She didn't feel and insecurity even though
it's weird. I don't know if it's just because where I lived. I don't know, and who I live around. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But it's just one person's impression, if you see what I mean. But
Yeah,
saying
that's just me. Maybe, to be very honest, where I'm living at the moment, it's very peaceful and tranquil. But maybe other people around here may feel scared because it's so secluded and quiet, and you never know. Before, when I used to work, I used to wake up and leave out my house like 5:30, where it's like pitch dark, for example, now. And I used to walk like 3 miles to work in the dark, and I never feel scared.
I guess there's also a part of the fact that if you have been SA, okay, like you will be more sensitive to that.
Oh yeah,
you will not want it to happen again.
Yes, I think if people have been compromised or have those kind of trauma, they probably would be.
Okay,
but
you know,
which happens to so many women,
Maggie, I'm
including
going to jump in
myself, of
here
course.
because I can. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that either. But this is going to sound ridiculous now, just going by what you just said there. So I have something I can relate this to. So Dan will sometimes hide in the house and jump out at me, right? And I am so terrified of this happening, right, that it becomes a crippling anxiety, right? And I know it's not anywhere near as being objectified or being attacked, right? But I really, it's an overwhelming sensation because I'm more scared that she's going to jump out and I'm going to knock her out, right, than anything else in the. She doesn't seem to get, right, that if you jump out, if I think you're watching TV down the stairs and I come out the bathroom and you jump out at me, what's going to happen if I headbutt you? Right? Like, what's going to happen? How are we going to explain this? Do you see what I mean? And I don't. It terrifies me. It's not only because of the headbutt, and it's definitely 100% also to do with the fact that I'm terrified of jump scares. It's so unnecessary. I hate it. Right? In a movie, I can sense them coming, but when it's Dan thinking it's hilarious, I mean, do you know she's learned though? Right? She's learned to do it from a distance now, where if I was to do a headbutt or react, because the first thing I tend to do is like throw my hands up, and if you're too close, you're definitely getting there's something going to happen. Something's going to happen, right? And she's now started to do it from a distance. So she's figured out the algorithm of fear, Maggie. She's figured out to weaponize it against me. So that's really the only thing that I can genuinely say I have a physical reaction to that is based off of someone's ill intent, even though it's just my partner jumping out from behind a couch or whatever, which I know really isn't the same. But
listen, being essay being compared to a jump scared is an interesting perspective.
It wasn't the essay because
it was the consequences of the jump scared.
No. It was when you were talking about how you felt when you lived alone, or you felt how people, when they looked at you, you felt different. I have no way of comparing anything that in my life, but the consequences of someone else's actions in a place that's meant to be safe, like my home, the only thing I can relate to is Dan jumping out at me because of the actual physical anxiety I have. So if you get the same sort of anxiety reaction based off of someone giving you like a creepy gaze, or someone following you, and it's not so much the trigger that's the similarity, it's the crippling anxiety or the overwhelming feeling.
Is the reaction.
Yeah, that was my point. I wasn't trying to compare someone jumping out at somebody to SA.
Ron, I don't think she would physically want to fight. She'll physically run away. Wouldn't you, Maggie?
Who, Dan?
What?
No, I'm saying Maggie. If someone probably jump out at her, for example, she's saying that if you're walking outside and people looking at you creepy or funny, she would probably run away.
Oh yeah, anyone jumps out in front
So
of me outside, they're getting knocked out. Like there's a good chance you're getting knocked out. 100%, 100%, 100%.
anyway,
Like I almost knocked a poor
Maggie,
woman.
where have you lived, Maggie, for people to be looking at you scary? Wow.
People don't look at me scary. That's not the point. It's not other people's fault.
thought you were
It's
saying that
my
when you're
fault.
10 years old. I thought I heard you say something like that. Okay, maybe I
Yeah,
misunderstood.
no, I said when you start being essayed and when you're 10 years old, that's what happened, you know? You
Oh,
get
like
to a point.
from like because of residual trauma. That was your point from earlier. I think maybe I never realized there was an SA factor. I imagine, to be perfectly honest with you. To be honest,
No, I didn't either. I didn't hear that bit. That's
Yeah,
the reason why I was like, okay.
yeah. So yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yes,
if I'm
you
being
did.
honest.
We talked about it, and then you compared it to the
Yeah.
jump scared.
No.
You
that's
didn't know the
before. That's
age.
when
You didn't know the
No,
age.
no.
here.
You can rewind. You feel free to rewind the stream. You mentioned that
No, I don't know.
You mentioned you'd been essayed right when I was trying to come in with my answer. So
Yeah, exactly.
my answer
That
wasn't
was a
based off.
coincidence. Yeah, it was a coincidence.
Yeah. It was just that
Exactly.
my analogy was based off of you trying to find
What
a
we were
way that
talking
some
about
answers
before.
But now it makes more sense that your point was when you have residual trauma, how something as simple as living alone or having a weird neighbor or a weird look can affect you because of that. That makes way more sense, if I'm being honest.
I'm like, why are people talking about the weird neighbor, like most people that assault you are people that you know. They're your friends, they're your family, they're your uncle, your cousin, your blah blah blah. I'm like creepy uncle. There is no factor, there is no tell. So that I don't like when people say creepy this, creepy that. It's just when I am and with an interaction with a man, I have to know that there is a risk. So that is on every man, but that is not their fault. It's just survival.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying, but
well,
I'm
a little bit.
That sucks that you have to be that way, but nobody wants to feel like that, I would imagine.
Sincerely, for me, I'm just
Do
like,
you feel like that
happened.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What you say,
Yeah,
Queenie?
Is that what you're saying? That you feel like that around men?
Yes.
Oh, that's not nice. So,
like I said, it's not their
sorry to
fault.
hear
It's
that.
not like, and it's like, I'm not gonna say my fault. I'm just gonna say my past fault. Like I said, it started at 10. It didn't end at 10. You know.
Yeah.
So things happen.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Maggie. Like I had no idea that you'd ever been through anything like that. So I'm sorry to hear that. Obviously. What do you say?
Exactly. It's like you didn't go like mind blown.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, people are scum, man. Like it's just the effects are so far beyond what these monsters they must even be able to comprehend. I mean, we all know as well, we have individuals who go through trauma and they become empathetic. I've met survivors who are better human beings than I could ever hope to be, right? But then you have a certain percentage who can't handle what's happened to them and they end sooner than they should. But then you have a percentage that go on to become the statistic of the repeating trauma breeds trauma factor. And that is the perpetual cycle that I don't think half of these monsters think about. But I guarantee you most of them are living the statistic. They are the statistic, you know, and it's sad. And it's real sad. I mean, I think somebody said that if every form of trauma stopped tomorrow, right, it would probably be about 90 years before the effects of all the residual trauma were gone.
That is true. Like we have our ancestral trauma. And I do believe that trauma forces you to confront yourself and you either become a better person or a worse person.
Yeah.
So it becomes your choice.
And I think when you apply trauma to anything, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if you're if your past was totally different and you'd been in a car accident, say,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd
Yeah.
feel the exact same about cars, who was driving them, all the rest of it. It's not
Exactly.
something you've chosen, and it's not something you were born with. It's something that was imposed upon you. You know, if you'll,
Exactly.
excuse me
Understand.
for the use
Understand.
of the
Like
analogy.
you're just showing that PTSD takes many form.
Yeah, of course. And again,
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, I get you. I get your point from earlier. Way with way more clarity now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's kind of where Queenie's perspective was. She was kind of like not realizing that it was from a trauma base, if you know what I mean. So that's where
Yeah,
I really think.
exactly. That's why I confided, because I was like, oh, that's, and I just realized it because I'm so used to thinking how I think that I just believe that everyone, like every woman thinks how I think.
Yeah, no, I'm with, no, I'm
So
totally,
yeah.
totally with you. But I'm with, but
So
that's
thank
another.
you, Queenie, for making me realize that. You made me realize that.
No, because I've never
Mhm.
well, I don't know. It's
Mhm.
it's a weird situation.
Oh, there's
But
definitely.
I don't know. I don't fearful of
Yeah.
people
Well, this is
like
the
Exactly.
thing.
that.
Exactly.
Even the
Exactly.
analogies I was making earlier are different. When I was saying, well, I've got some perception of what people
Mhm.
can be like on night outs and things like this. That was based off of
Exactly.
it just being, because I mean, we've all seen what people conduct themselves like after a night out from a pub. There's guys shouting all sorts at women for what they're wearing. There's women shouting all sorts at guys. It's a madness, right? So that was
Yeah.
the side I was sort of trying to see it from.
Yeah, it's like in Canada, in Montreal, where I live,
Yeah.
there was like a Uber driver. He was a man, and a woman came into the Uber, but she was the wrong woman associated with a wrong Uber, and they were going. It was like in front of a club. So the woman was being really annoying, really annoying. So at one point, just say, "Yo, get out of my car! Get out of my car!" And then the next day, the woman was found SA'd and dead. And
Yeah.
then he was so surprised. And my only reaction was, why would you be surprised? Of course, you leave a woman alone. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I watched
You know?
an interesting documentary, Maggie. It was about a woman who went to Magaluf and then pretended to be drunk after the clubs were finished to film how people were reacting to
Oh,
them.
Lady Letitia.
Lady Letitia, Queenie's with us as well via Discord as well, Lady Letitia. You can't see her on the
Hi,
panel.
Queenie. Hi, Maggie. Hey, everyone. Again.
So,
Hey, Letitia.
how's Letitia doing?
She's doing great. I miss you guys.
How's the lurgy? How's the coughs and the seal like ailments?
Ron is starting to come back. My daughter's coughing again.
Oh
And
no.
so I know. Sucks. Are you guys getting any background noises over here?
You need to top up with vitamin C's. I had to do loads of that the other day.
Getting her to eat is like, it's a task. She won't
Yeah.
eat but 3 things.
Have lots of fruits.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna try to reincorporate that in there. What you guys talking about?
Well,
Diddy?
we're just coming to the end. We're hitting about 3.5 hours now, Lady Letitia. You're late to the party.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't stay
I'm
on
not
for
gonna
me
lie.
though.
No, I am absolutely starving. I woke up at like 5 o'clock this morning and just got into doing a bunch of stuff.
You're not starving, Ron. You're hungry. Stop it.
Listen, you don't know what I'm going through right now. Okay.
Listen,
No,
Ron.
listen.
Listen. Let me tell you. Don't use that word. My oldest can tell you what that word did to him once.
Listen, I'm sorry. You can listen. Sometimes your traumatic past
You're not
stories
starving.
and
You're hungry.
all of this stuff, right? If my interpretation is that I am starving, in my world, my interpretation can be different from the actual scientific horrors of slowly starving to death. Okay, maybe we're all adults here and we can look at Ron and go, well, does he actually look like he's starving? No, I'm husky. Okay, I'm way too husky. I'm about to enter into the month of the year where if I don't eat between 8 and 10,000 calories a day over Christmas, I'm doing it wrong. Okay, if you've never eaten a triangle of brie like a banana, okay, don't even be talking to me about this stuff. All right, Ron is trying to control his intake right now. Ron is trying to behave, and Ron's stomach is like, mate, we have not been empty in a decade. What is going on? Why
What's on the menu?
Why am I hearing sounds from within my stomach? Okay, listen, I'm okay. I'm eating some of this bulk right now. So yeah.
So what's on the menu? What are you gonna eat? Curiosity.
Rice and a fish cake, and then at 9 I'm going to have rice. And then I'm going to have fish and a rice cake. Then at 11, fish. Then at 10:30, a rice cake. Then I'm going to go do some training and I'm going to have fish.
Why so many fish?
No, I'm just kidding.
Are you on a diet?
I'm not on a diet. I'm just like, I'm looking at what I eat, right? And I'm like, okay, clearly I'm doing something wrong here. Okay, clearly I'm doing something wrong because I don't own a full-length mirror. And then I seen myself in a full-length mirror, stood there in my underpants the other day, and I was like, whoa, what is going on? What's going on here, mate? What is going on here? And I'm like, maybe it's because the last time I seen myself, I had a banging tan. And I'm like, has it something to do with the tan? Does the tan create an illusion of what's going on here? And I'm like, okay, right, look, no. It's not the mirror. It's not me. It's not Hermione. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not that, right? So I'm looking at myself and I'm like, oh no. And then I realized that I'm coming up to Christmas, right? So I'm like, oh no. Like,
yeah.
Do you know how many pigs are going to be consumed by me? I mean, I'm not even saying gammons or how much pork. I'm saying collectively, if we scooped up all the bits of pig I'm going to eat over December, and that doesn't include the turkeys, man. There's going to be there is a small holding worth of animals.
Turkey's not big though. Okay.
No, listen. Don't tell me what isn't Christmas. Okay, I want to roll around. Okay, so listen. All I'm saying is Ron is just being a bit more conscientious. So I used to have this was years ago. I had a thing called Huel. And it's like a liquid form of meal, right? That's great. We'll have one of them in the morning, right? We'll maybe have one of them for lunch. We'll eat some fruit. And then see when it gets to 9 o'clock, when we've maybe had 1 or 2 Capri Suns, right? You know what I'm saying? The florist has been round. We've rolled up a Capri Sun and things are a bit more relaxed. I don't need to have 4,000 calories in Haribo and kettle chips. Okay, so if I just don't have them, do you know what the worst thing is? Even the whole don't have them in the house anymore doesn't matter because I just eat and Deliveroo and all of these services. I shouldn't be able to get a Big Mac at 3 a.m. brought to my house. Why is that? No one, they didn't think this through.
Yes, they did. Oh, yes, they did.
Do you know, does anybody ever see what was the Disney movie with the little robot that cleans up all the garbage off the apocalyptic Earth, right? Do you remember what was the movie? It was
Wall-E.
Wall-E. Did you see the people in Wall-E on their floating chairs like that?
Oh, magic.
That. What I seen in that mirror, I was like, if they offered me a floating internet chair where I'm just left to decay and die, but I had a really good virtual reality headset, I'm just saying,
sexy.
I need to nip this in the bud, man. I need to nip this in the bud. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I've got plans I've got this whole thing planned for next year with Dan. It involves one of those long boats. You know,
and Nova.
Yeah, one of those. No, this is probably. I don't know if this will be a Nova weekend, right? But it's certainly going to be a Dan. Right? I've always had this vision of getting one of those.
What a pretty name.
One of those canal boats, right, in the middle of summer, and treat it like it's like an R&B hip hop movie, like music video, right? Like metallic bikini sunbathing Dan on a sun lounger, right? Just totally over the top. Like if Temu or Wish done like a yacht party on a canal boat, right? That's what we're trying to achieve, right? What was the point of this? How I just oh no,
I don't know.
so I need to deal with how that's going to look. Do you know what I'm saying? I need to deal with how that's going to look. I gotta be like a more slinky captain of the vessel. You know what I'm saying? Nobody needs to
Are
know
you
any of that.
overly sensitive then, Ron?
Do I look like I'm overly? To what part of me strikes you that I'm overly sensitive? I have went through a trauma
The
that
way you're flapping your hands.
some people go through the trauma of seeing themselves in a full length mirror and never recover from it. I've come to the
Me?
internet to hate myself. I've come to the internet to be like shame. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, Game of Thrones with the shaming. That's what I'm doing to myself right now. Because it's no joke, man. I look at myself and I'm like,
Yeah.
a person in my life that I care about that has to look at that.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking too, Ron. My I done got way swollen. I call it swollen.
All right. What are we talking about?
What is swollen?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I call myself a tubby son of a gun. That's what I am. I'm a tubster right now. I'm a little tubberino. So yeah, I need to deal with that. I need to deal with that. Like if they were casting,
we're all chubby. We're all chubby.
Listen. If they were going to be casting the new Goonies, right? There's one character in particular I could be casted at right now. We're not going to talk about it, okay? But we all know which Goonie we're talking about. We all know which. It's not the Asian guy, okay? Not that one, okay? Believe it or not, we all know which one I'm talking about, okay?
I don't know the Goonies.
Yeah, the Goonies is great, and I don't mean freaking hey you guys either. You know what I'm saying? His pal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I need to deal with that because otherwise, if I've not got a decent routine in by the time that we hit the 10 calorie a day Christmas period, there's not going to be any going back for me. There's not going to be any going back. Like I feel like it's going to get to the point where the hand is going to overtake the finger, right? It's just going to be a chunky. Don't look at my hand and go wow, as if there's something wrong with it, Letitia. I'm talking about something that could be, not about something that is. But thanks for that. I'll take that one to the grave. Freaking wowing at the wrong thing here, Jesus. So, yeah. It's time to just be a bit more conscientious about, myself. Gotta do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Reality.
If you can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do it. I'm going to eat so much ham over Christmas, Lady Letitia. I'm talking a big game here, but the science doesn't add up. There's no enough time in the world for how much ham is going to be eaten, for how much live streaming has to be done to then sausagey fingers, Ron. How dare you, Don? How dare you say I have sausagey fingers? Okay.
Letitia.
And also, I just want to say, I've never heard a woman complaining about some sausagey fingers, if you know what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's a gift. Right, sorry, Maggie, you were saying.
Queenie was talking.
Queenie.
Queenie.
I was asking,
Sorry, Queenie.
Letitia about the Ozempic that she was trying out.
Yeah, like I didn't even take my dose yesterday, but it's getting expensive. $300 a month.
Oh, if I was your husband, I'd be like, $300 a month for a pill, hen. Okay, here you go. Treadmill.
Is that
boom? Treadmill.
Is it a daily thing? Is it something you take daily, or how does it work? Can you tell me?
It's weekly, and it's a shot in my stomach. And you take a shot.
Does it hurt?
I tell you what, though, I'm not gonna lie. Now that I think about it, I would probably do that. I would probably right now.
Sometimes it hurts.
And we're like, listen, if we inject you with this, you're just going to shade that Christmas way. I'd probably roll the dice on that. I'd give it a bash. I don't know. What's the word? For all the other madness that my body's had to ingest over the years, why not? I probably wouldn't though. I'm not going to lie. Like it would freak me out. I'd probably like getting stabbed with stuff, to be perfectly honest. Like stop trying to inject you with chemicals, government. It's not. I'm not here for.
Have you gotten any side effects or anything, Letitia?
Well, I lost about 10 pounds. And when they upped the dose, I felt a little sick, but and then I took it down a little bit because it was just too much. But I think I felt like Oprah one day. Remember, Oprah had an issue Okay, I see. But Gail, remember Gail was talking about her? I think I went through an episode, but I don't know if it was the Ozempic, but it was bad.
Okay.
And but it stops you from being hungry. It really does. Like your appetite is curbed completely and you're not hungry. You don't want to eat.
You guys are obviously I don't understand what appetite has got to do with eating. I never understood this. What has being hungry or having an appetite got to do with eating? If I was to only eat when I'm hungry, if I was to only eat when I got hungry, right? I'd be days apart within meals. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I eat because it's awesome.
You're bored.
It's awesome.
Days.
Right?
Days.
Like, oh yeah,
days.
Man. Yeah. Like if I was to go and have like a meal, right, and I was to then tell you how long I could go between meals before I felt the lethargic, I think it would be quite horrifying, if I'm being honest. I think there's probably about 6 or 7 inches of undigested red meat in me at any point. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's all that to break down before I even start eating myself. Oh yeah. Plus, I swallowed a lot of chewing gum as a kid. I'm sure some of that's probably still in there. Like there's a lot going on. This is a complex energy source. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've abused this whole thing for a long time, and it's just time to sort of weigh up the options and just be a bit more considerate of this.
But I think I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna order it one more time and work it out. I need a kickstart. I need something to, really, because it's stabilizing me and helping me lose, but I need to do it at least one more time.
Okay.
Just for
so
science.
Have you changed your diet? For example, like just having more veg in your like green ones, especially.
As a matter of fact, I've gotten worse. I buy ice cream and just I eat anything I want. It's so bad.
Whenever you're off it, if it gives you cravings for sweets. I was gonna ask you that.
I wonder, does it do?
Oh, bless
It does,
you.
because I can eat like 2 or 3 bars of ice cream in one setting.
Oh my god.
Wait, what? What did you just say? What did you
I
just
can
say?
eat like 3 ice cream bars. Like,
ice cream
I'm
bars.
like,
Yeah,
oh, I
obviously.
want another one. I want another one.
Yeah, a Magnum's come in a pack of 3. Okay, not for sharing. Okay, for hiding in a cupboard and devouring yourself. Okay, it's the Trinity of shame. The Trinity of shame is a packet of Magnums. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Oh, listen, I don't listen. We've descended from Diddy to tunnels to the SRA to SA, and now we're on dietary habits of the panel, because I looked in a full-length mirror and it was like looking at a horror movie, and now I'm trying to do something about it in a very. It's coming, Kaza. It's coming. All right. You have no idea how much money. Babies and that. It's just been a madness, mate. But it's coming. Ron loves eating his nuts. Wow. Okay. Listen, that's a whole other conversation, right? But on the subject of nuts, right? I'm hoping that within the next week or so, I'll have the date up for the Tube of Terrors. None of this looks like a good idea. People are telling me that I shouldn't do this because I will die. Please stop leaving comments that my fiance is going to read, right? Because she's creeping about in there all the time. Don't be leaving comments telling people that I'm going to die from eating these. Okay, it's freaking out my family.
You are going to die.
I'm not going to.
Well, the problem with that, Ron, is that you don't eat hot stuff, and if you're not used to eating hot stuff,
oh yeah, I'm a complete pansy, 100%. I am a.
You're gonna die.
Like.
You're lying to Dan.
No,
you're lying to Dan.
No, it's when Maggie says it, she sounds really convinced. Like she's convincing me the way she says it, right? But no, like for example,
you will die.
If you want to talk in the language of curries, so if I'm ordering a curry, I'll get a Buna, right, or a Rogan Josh or a Buna. I'm not like a korma eater, so I'm sort of like if there was 3 chilies of hotness, I'm maybe at like 1 chili ish, right? If I go to Nando's, oh no, yeah, I don't like spicy stuff. I really do not. I don't like it. It's not why.
You are gonna die.
It's like I like conversation, which is the same thing as an argument, really. But I don't like arguments. It's arguments are the spicy food of conversations. Okay, and
there's no argument. You're gonna die.
Queenie, do you make your food a little spicy, or is it?
Die.
To be honest, it depends who is coming around. But normally, yeah, my food is
yeah.
You just tell me how you like it, and I can make it to your specification.
Oh, okay.
Just tell Dan I'm with her. Dan, I'm with you.
But I have to have, for
crazy.
example, if I'm having like my curry, it has to be really hot. Oh, I can't have a curry if it's not hot.
Yeah.
Or like if I'm doing my jerk chicken, if I'm doing it like for catering purposes, I tend to tone it down. But if I'm having it for my home, it's proper.
Oh no,
how we like it.
That doesn't sound good.
No,
nice. You know,
no. Casimir can tell you because I made some stuff and I didn't make it very spicy, and she loved it.
No, well, listen, I've got a plan, right? So using science, we're going to beat the heat. Okay.
You have adult diapers, right?
No. Listen. So next week
you have adult diapers, right?
No, listen. No, I'm not caring about. Listen. I'm not caring about the mess that comes out. I'm caring about the temperature of the mess that's going to come out. The diaper. I don't care about the diaper. Okay.
While you're eating, there may be accident.
Oh,
a little fart too far. A little fart
too far. Do you think I'm stupid enough, right, to risk a fart during a competition where I'm eating hot? No. So listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I've got 2 things I'm going to do. I'm going to start training next week for this. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is every morning I'm going to take a dessert spoon and put it in the toaster until it becomes red hot. And I'm just going to suck on it every morning for half an hour until the whole inside of my mouth is just a calorie. No, I'm kidding.
No, you got to eat it fast.
Let me tell you what you need to do. No.
Don't do that. That is not.
Get it wet. Why don't you wash them off first?
Why don't I wash them off first? Because we've got to, Queenie, I'm going to come to you. Don't worry. The other thing I'm going to do is that if I just drink liquid wax, like if I heat up wax and drink it, and I cover my whole mouth and stomach and esophagus, then I can beat the fire, right? Yeah? Science, right? No, all right, no.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die. Why is your solution more dangerous than what you're going through? Explain to me.
Why don't you have you a cup of milk? Get you some milk.
Nah,
why are you doing this to Dan? Dan, no, I'm sorry.
I'm doing this to raise money for a community member and another community member.
That's gonna be funny.
Dan, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's
diapers.
Gonna be great. So, yeah, that's coming soon. Yeah.
That's gonna be funny. I mean, to just see your face.
Ron, is your hair real? What else would it be? I don't understand. Like, what can I get? Can like what does that mean? Like, can I get what can like what is there that you can do?
You could have extensions, but there's no way a guy would put extensions.
I mean, no. Like what would they do? What would they? Is that? Oh no, Dan's getting extensions. So that's just when your hair goes from being short to long. Right? Yeah, nah.
Yeah, there's a lot of women who does that.
Yeah.
Black women, we started it, of course, but like
we need our hair.
Yes, important. Beta said that she has real hair.
No, we don't.
Cool.
He's got black. He's got what?
I'm
going to die smiling. Oh, listen. I don't listen. Everything's going to be fine.
Smile too.
Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. All right. Everything's going to be fine. And then it'll all be fine. And then the next day it'll all come out and I'll hate it. But other than that, it's for a good cause. And my body won't allow me to do this unless I'm doing it for a good cause. So bring your money. for that stream. I'm
Maybe
serious.
listen to your body. Maybe your body's trying to tell you
Oh,
something.
no. If I listen to my
I'm
body,
surprised
we're
you
all in a
bought
lot of
them.
trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. No, I didn't buy them. The man who makes them, Johnny and Tommy Scoville. Tommy
The
Scoville,
two
the guy,
Sadzik.
Tommy Scoville, who comes to our channel, is Johnny Scoville's brother who makes these.
Oh,
Yeah.
Craziness.
So it's going to be a madness. So I'm very much looking forward to it and seeing just how bad it's going to be. It's 15 million. These are 15 million Scovilles, and these are 13 million Scovilles. So yeah.
Oh, they're like the Scotchy.
Oh, they've got. Let me tell you what this is. Let me tell you what a mix of peppers this is. This is Carolina Reaper pepper.
Reaper, yeah, the color Reaper. That's
oh,
the
you know
hottest
that pepper, Pointy?
Right, let me read this out.
Pardon?
Lady.
You know what
So-
he's saying?
Yes, I know. Yeah, it's the
Oh,
pepper.
wow.
It's like when your two aunties are at a family event and they're making sure that the other auntie knows what the one auntie's talking about with everyone talking at the table. It's Carolina Reaper peppers, Moruga Scorpion, 7-pot Primo, 7-pot Dula, and Ghost Peppers. I mean, why? And this one's this one's just Carolina Reapers.
I have a question. I wonder, is the hotness just on the outside of the peanut, or is it all the way through?
No. I mean, I imagine there will be some sort of adhesion of spice, but yeah, it's all on the outside. Oh, it's not going to be fun. But it'll be fine.
So are you going to go with the?
Not in the pepper run.
Oh yes, Tweenie, you will train me in the ways of this. You will train me.
Are you going to go with the lighter pepper first?
Oh yeah, no, this is how it's going to work. So I'm going to commit to eating one full tube of these, all right? Then for every $10 donated, for every $10 you donate, I will add one of these corn nuts to a bowl, okay? And I have 2 complete tubes of corn nuts available, plus a backup tube, okay? But listen,
so you've got 3.
I've got 4.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah. It's a terrible idea. But I want to raise a lot of money for community members who deserve it. And
yeah,
if there's nothing more at the cornerstone of being a YouTuber is embarrassing yourself for the glory of your side chat in the name of charity and the good of mankind. And plus, let's be honest.
So
Ron,
dying is embarrassing now.
It's not. I'm not going to die. You're very much the glass is half empty on this, right?
Is there a warning label?
Oh, there's a massive warning label. Yeah, there's several warning labels. In fact, not only both on the packaging, but on the leaflet that arrived, on the box, and the website. In fact, it tells you not to touch and don't allow them to come in contact with your skin. So I'm assuming.
Wow. Say that as Ron.
Do
not. You need to put some glove on while you're eating it. Do not let it touch you.
There's no skin on the inside of my mouth. Okay, so it's okay, right?
You need to put some gloves on.
I'm definitely going to be putting gloves on. I'm going to be putting gloves on, and I am going to be. I don't even know why I've committed to this. I do know why, because it's
some milk. Get you some milk. I heard milk help.
But if we don't raise a decent amount of money, then it'll all be your guys' fault for why none of it happens. So it's down to you if you want to see it happen.
Oh Lord!
Yeah,
I agree with Tricia on the.
Sorry, when you go away.
Queenie?
No, I'm telling Ron to make sure he lines his stomach with milk before he starts eating.
Yes. Something about lines.
That'll help, right? The milk.
Yeah, you have to line your stomach with some milk so it doesn't burn your inside.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's gonna burn your inside.
That actually sounds like good advice, if I'm being honest.
No, for real. I'm telling you, it's real. It's real.
All right. Yeah, we'll do that. That sounds like good advice. Well, listen, we're almost hitting 4 hours. I don't know what you guys are all up to today, but it's been a good show. It's been a fantastic day. I don't think I'm back till tomorrow during the Daily Show, and then we've got Misha and Shug Knight. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Interviews tomorrow night. It's going to be awesome. And then we've got more streams lined up for the rest of the week. I'm going to go work on some content for you lovely people and go and have some food. And yeah.
Ron,
Yeah.
where's that other lady that you had on a couple of weeks ago? She was very nice.
Natanya.
Lisa?
Not Natanya. Not that she's not nice. Not her. She. Oh God.
You're Lean.
I think she lives in New York.
Lean.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lean's hopefully coming back very, very soon. She's just been taking care of some.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm just finishing up now, babes. Well, listen, everybody. That
all right,
I've
then
been
let's let you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
See you all later. Thanks everyone for being here. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one.